Damn.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? It's your girl, me.
It's your girl, me.
I was about to do a whole freestyle
I was
remix.
trying to help jump in there.
So I can recall
Go ahead, run it back.
Can I don't know. Do I have the mojo at this point now?
I believe so.
Oh.
Any mojo you had, right out the door.
Who lives in the pineapple under the sea? It's your girl, me. We here on the Good Time Show. Those who don't know. So, no, I lost it. Sorry.
It was that one line. That one line was hot, though.
It was. I don't know where to go from there.
Ain't nothing wrong with Monday one line. You had to say pay, though. You can't say me.
It's your girl, pay.
Under the saying.
It's your girl, pay. Anyways, y'all, as I get my freestyles together, it is 10 minutes after the hour. 4:10 on the east and 1:10 on the west.
3:10 CSD.
Cause Cool Joe knows it best.
He do.
Yes, he do. And ooh, we getting it down, turn it around. If y'all are watching on Ustream right now, my hair looks absolutely crazy,
And
I don't care. And I don't care.
That's the beautiful thing too about radio. Like now that we do our format this way, where there's a visual and just the radio side, when I listen to radio, I always imagine them doing the same kind of stuff that we do, like just random, just the most random craziness.
And I'm gonna be frank, okay? Can I be frank? Why do people start saying that? Where'd that come from? Let's look into that.
What, Frank?
Yeah, let's be frank.
Who is Frank?
Let's be frank about it.
I wonder if Frank is like, why y'all biting my style?
Exactly, because I'm hoping that's talking about Frank Gallagher, because that's not the Frank I want to be.
I'm pretty sure I came out way before you. But that is a very...
if you want to be frank about it, let's be pay about it, all right? You really want to be pay. I love people who watch on YouTube because, hey, how you doing? But it's also kind of like a mind your business, and I'm really gonna be like just focusing on like my radio people. Like, and I understand, like, you know, y'all like to look at us, but for the people that's in your cars, I have taken on a new journey of my life. No, I'm not driving Lyft or no Uber, so don't even come at me like that. And I'm not shaming anybody who does.
It was Lyft that I want to bring up. This is pretty.
But I have found a new love for being in the car.
Yeah.
And when being in the car, you want to hear something. And I mean, this is the purpose of radio, right? You want to hear something that's entertaining, that's going to intrigue you, that's going to make you laugh, you know, have fun in the sun, and all those good things that just begun. Ooh, that rhymes.
She on one today.
Like,
I've been trying to have normal conversations with her. She can rhyme all that. Usually that's me. Usually I come in here like, you know, a jukebox. She on one today, y'all. It's gonna be an interesting show. Also, I completely skipped Monday.
He did.
She's gonna tell you that story probably.
He did. No. Oh, look at you being a David Letterman.
You like that?
Okay.
Let me get ahead of this situation.
Let me tell the story before you try to put out my beats.
Let me control it, as they say. Control it.
Yes, he did. He literally skipped Monday because Tuesdays and Thursdays are our production days. So typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays we record episodes, we do drops and all those kinds of things. And today he literally texted me and said, "Hey, we recording an episode today, right? What time is such and such coming in today?"
So
and I'm like,
wait. Here's the thing, y'all don't even think you know. So the tone you just set that in was very relaxed. In my head, I was like, "Oh my God, what are we doing today? What are we doing?" I was about to get ready for the show, and I'm like, "Oh, what outfit I wear? Wait, come on, I gotta go in there and get my outfit."
And I'm like, I'm so confused because I'm like, for one, when did we ever start recording on a Monday? And I'm like, how will we record? I'm like, it's kind of late in the day. Like, how are we gonna record 2 episodes and
tired?
did.
Like, and then I couldn't find the microphones. They're here.
They are here.
So just
charged.
That one text that you got, there was like a nice little 15 minutes.
There was a whole mosh pit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
great.
Before I get off on the good foot, today's show is brought to you by 3JS Creative Group. Make sure you guys check them out. Go to their website. We will be starting a social media page soon for 3JS Creative Group. But if you need a website, LLC, marketing, PR advice, advertising, anything of that nature, you need photo shoots, green screen rooms, make sure you go check out the website, 3JS Creative Group. Even if you are a book writer or author, they have a publishing company that you can publish your books through.
Put it this way.
It's a one-stop shop.
If at any point in time you ever say, you know what I need, just stop right there and call 3JS.
I mean, it's 100% true. Logos, anything you need, notaries. I mean, everything pretty much.
And if they can't do it, they got a guy who's got a guy.
Exactly. So make sure you guys go to 3jscreativegroup.com, as well as make sure you guys look into Lifeline Center. I know the seasons are changing, and I know a lot of things have been going on. There's been a lot of divorces, a lot of breakups, just personal things that we all need to do ourselves and get in order. But Lifeline Center is an amazing private practice. They have a ton of different therapists for you guys. They have virtual appointments, they have in-person appointments, all 9 yards. All right. So make sure you guys check them out. LifelineCenter.com.
Those of you that were listening the other day when I had the privilege of having young Zulu and
mental
having Mr.
awareness.
You guys are who we want calling Lifeline Center as well. I don't think it's enough times to Black men feel like they are allowed to go seek help and speak to someone. And trust me, I know from experience, sometimes even just talking to somebody about how you feel or what's going on that isn't somebody in your family or someone that you think will judge you can help monumentally. So please take that opportunity to at least call, talk to somebody, phone consultation, whatever you want to call it. Make that first step.
Yes.
That's all you got.
Making the first step is all you need in life, okay, y'all? As babies say, a baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do, and that first step gets you to where you need to go, okay?
What
and it's
baby
actually,
you know said that?
I don't know. Rugrats.
Oh.
That's who said it. Rugrats said it best.
You said, as babies say, like, huh? I thought you were going to say,
Remember, Lifeline Center is my LifelineCenter.com. Correction, I did correct that. But yes, make sure you guys definitely check them out. Real quick, I'm gonna step away.
They're gonna step away. Hopefully not for today, just for a little while. Hey, yo, because it's hot in here, bro. Turn on the fan.
Because I put on a hoodie, and I love how we're matching today. So I am making this a mission for the rest of this year. I'm gonna try to. When I'm in my chill clothes, I'm always rocking like people around me brands. So as you know, I literally live in indie looks. I have like 2 different indie looks hoodies that I am constantly like switching back and forth on. When I'm wearing my black and white, I wear this one. When I'm wearing my black and gold or all black, I do
I'm about to get back to the mission because there's been a lot going on, as most of you know. And it's still to this point, I mean, we just relaunched and we might come on here and act like the world's not on fire around us, but it takes a lot.
We're burning in the back.
Oh, man.
Burning with ideas.
Because
it's
I
so
want
much.
you guys to
Well, not like literally burning.
Yes.
Like, let's clarify that first and foremost.
On all those steps. But there's just a lot. I don't ever want to make it seem like we're overwhelmed or that we have too much going on or like we can't handle it. I know we come on here and talk about how busy our lives are, but we make them this business. So
yes,
at any point in time, like we say it all the time to each other, like, okay, well, here we go again. Like, it seems like once we get something handled or something starts to go smoothly, you and I cannot settle.
Yeah.
We have to have, it's almost like you get that breathing room and it's like, okay, now I got time to do what's next.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that pace. I love that constant creativity and innovation. And, you know, of course, we got Jay always throwing something on our plate too, which is incredible.
And I literally had a meeting with him before today that just
I see by his energy when I seen him earlier, like he wanted to say something, but it was close to what's going on there. So
we had a production meeting before going on air. But
it's great.
It's always production meetings, but when there's always production meetings, that means that there's great things being worked on. Yeah, you're being productive, and you know it's very important to have those kinds of things and those people in your life. And you know, as much as we do talk on air and we talk about structure and all these things, it really is one of those things that I feel more business people should talk about. And honestly, I'm gonna promote this, but it's not like a real plug, but it is a plug. So Instagram has now created like their OnlyFans sort of thing.
Oh, the subscription.
Yeah, the subscription. So it's like the subscribe. And I am going to make it my mission because I did not know, and I do feel a little bit like, okay, they have to invite you to be like a Reels or a subscription thing. Like Instagram says like, hey, we think you're qualified enough to get paid for this. Like an average person can't just do that. Like some people keep asking like, oh, how do you do this? I'm like, I don't know. It just popped up one day when I logged into my account and said, hey, you can do this. Like I can get badges for like my lives and stuff like that, where people can pay me while watching my lives. But I don't go live enough to get paid for that. Yeah, I don't get paid for that.
I'm trying, man. I'll be on here and stuff, but they don't.
The only thing that I will start doing with my reels is I'm going to start doing more business segments and more like realistic business segments, because there's so many misconceptions out here with starting a business and the process of businesses and all those kinds of things. And I want to bring to the forefront the real nitty gritty, the stuff that people don't talk about, you know, the stuff that people overlook when it comes to starting a business. Your expenses is going to be way more than your income for the first startup, and investing and being able to, you know, balance and manage home life and structure of your businesses, making protocol, procedure books, and all those kinds of things. Because when you start a business, you are creating a company for other people.
Yes, sir.
Who's that, Baloney Dip?
No, that's his name. Yes, sir. I went to college with him. He's a filmmaker. I think he's still making films, I believe so. What's going on, bro? Very good to see you. Even myself. So I know a lot about business, and I have for a long time doing school for and all that kind of stuff. But even me, I think it took me by surprise, especially after going to school. Because anybody who went to the Art Institute, it wasn't only music and film and movies and stuff like that you learned. If you had good instructors, you learned how to start your business. You learned how to be a proprietor of your own, you know, because everybody down there is your own, you know, subcontractor. And I thought it was going to be easier. Even up till now, recently, starting in Lux, I kind of thought it was going to run itself. And I guess I forgot about all the other things you kind of still have to do.
And I was going to say, in school, I feel like they teach you, they mislead you when they teach you. So they make you understand how business works and how to get LLC and balance and expenses. But what they fail to teach you, what I've learned the hard way, is as much as we are our business, most of our ideas are here. So as much as they tell you, yes, get a business plan together. And yes, a business plan is great because that tells you your vision, your ideas.
But there's so much that happens that you have to account for.
But outside of a business plan, writing down how your day-to-day operates. Because you may not be able to run your business every single day, but do you have a manual for, okay, you know, when an employee starts, this is how you do this is how you do that. And it's so hard for the business starters because this is just something we do every single day. It's hard for us to put it on paper.
I think what it comes down to, and I'll say this first, so I've helped people create businesses and I've helped people run businesses. Except, I mean, Fortune 500 $1 million down to your neighborhood candy seller, right? What up, Nino Banks? Nino Banks in the building, my God.
Hi, Nino.
Definitely going to be one of my used to artists that I entice to come up on here. So what people forget is when it's your own business, everybody tries to go from 0 to 100, and your goal is, you know, make $1 million every year, and all that kind of stuff, recurring money, whatever. Not. You don't remember that first 2 years is nothing but grind, struggle. It's nothing but you putting money out, not getting money back. It's nothing but building your team. And when you try to start a business in the midst of living everyday life, especially if you have a wife and kids and all those other things, responsibilities, and even a side job or a main job that you're working while you're doing this, it is going to feel impossible. But if you started your business backed by a passion and backed by something you love to do,
then it's gonna be easy.
Then it should be fine if you just keep going. If it's something you're trying to do as a money grab, you're in the wrong business to start with.
Exactly. And even with the passion, learning the structure. Because once you have the structure down pat and on paper, it's easy to have people come in and help you.
See, as Sarah said, I agree with both opinion. And I would like to share my opinion. After finishing school, I found myself with an error, which is I got to build the other things that I didn't work on while focusing. And that's one of the hardest things to do.
Wait, what did you mean
So
by that?
he got to build, right? He said you have to build the other things that I didn't work on while focusing. So when you're focusing on the mission, on the goal of the product or the movie or this and the other thing, you forget that you have to build all the rest of the team, all the rest of the stuff behind you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not always just about
the
your product.
Yeah.
Just like people, so Nino, I know you can, he said he was just saying this literally 2 minutes ago, especially in music, right? These artists think that all they have to do is get in the studio, write a fire song, write a fire ass hook, and write a verse and put it out. And like, that's it. It should just fly on its own. But you forget, you are a brand now. You are a business now. So not only do you have to shake hands and kiss babies, you got to put money into your marketing. You got to be out on the street playing with people, carry a boombox around and make people hear. People still have to
you
hear
got to get that
music.
attraction.
Right. If you don't have a team behind you, especially these artists that are like, I'm independent, I ain't never going to sign to a label.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you going to do the marketing that label was going to do for you? Or do you have distributed? Do you know how to make a deal?
And that's what people misunderstand about a label. The only thing a label does is give you the extra exposure.
Right.
So instead of signing like a label deal, you would be better off doing a distribution deal.
But people don't know that.
Exactly. People don't know the difference between the two.
People have no idea.
So that's the type of things that I'm going to be sharing on my subscription page, and having people like you or Nino on to give that insight, because there's such a facade.
Nino would be a great person for us to get on even our show. I'm telling you, this IG, like, he goes on the same page that we were on the other day.
Okay.
And his insight is incredible. He said the reason why I don't stop music is because when I didn't have nothing else, I had my music. And trust, I've had some places where you need something. You know what I'm saying? So
that's very true.
It's really, really rough if you don't have passion behind what you're doing. And that's why I think some people, not only, entrepreneurs in business that have an actual business or brick and mortar, I think a lot of them fail because of that reason. I think they get these loans and they put this money out, and they're expecting that in the first 6 months to a year they're going to be, because they just think what they got is so monumentally great that they can't fail. And they think that return is coming immediately back to them, but
the problem is we pinpoint some of these. I'm trying to use my Microsoft account. We pinpoint these prices and we ballpark them, but we don't get the exact number. So therefore, when we do get a lump sum of money, we don't know where to put it. So before anything, we end up spending it. I'm gonna spend a little bit here, I'm spending a little bit there.
Ruby's another person that definitely understands this. He has a cast himself called the MI Cannon Cast. If you guys have not seen that yet, please go watch the MI Cannon Cast. Great dudes over there, Kennedy and Ruby. He's also a musician. So he understands how to market himself and that he is a brand, and seeing how they market themselves and how they get out in the community and all that. He'd be a great person to tell his story on how long it takes to actually get to a place that, a lot of people, they tap into your business or they notice who you are after you've already done all that work. And you still are new on the scene. So they're thinking, oh, you just blew up overnight. Bruh, it took years to get to you. Where you just came across my page, that took years.
And that's the biggest facade that people have with these YouTube sensations. Right?
Yeah.
People don't understand how many videos they had out prior to YouTube making them a paid person or this. I know for a fact my son used to watch Ryan. And he used to watch Ryan when Ryan first came out. I mean, Ryan at the time was probably about 3. His twin sisters were not even in the picture when Ryan first came out, when my son was watching him. Now Ryan is on TV, sold in Walmart, and they have a huge channel. But Ryan's like, what, 9 Now,
his parents have been doing some work.
Thank you.
You know what I
So
mean?
look how much time they put into doing all these videos and doing all these things before they actually got paid from YouTube. And I'm not knocking YouTube. I'm not knocking anybody. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, right.
Because I was about to go into it, but I'm like, listen, it's
game.
99 cents, and I'm going to be giving free game. All you have to do is pay 99 cents to subscribe to the free game.
You tune in
Okay.
here on Friday.
No, we are going to be giving it away. We
Uh,
are going to be doing it.
Yeah, I should have said learning the business part is more technical in preparation for business, just far away from the talent you have. I had to learn what an LLC was. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like you have to have two talents. If you're not going to have a team to start with that knows all those things, you have to be proficient in business
Yeah.
as well as proficient in your talent and also proficient at being multitasking, being able to multitask.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
while not only, okay, here's the worst part about it. Once you do reach a little bit of success, right? If you don't already have that team, now you have the pressure of constantly providing that same
Yep.
level of whatever it is you're putting out, as well as making sure your business savvy is on point. Because as your talent turns up and your exposure turns up, that business is turning up right alongside it.
Mhm.
And it's easy. It's so easy for you to get eager and to
Yeah.
start accepting paychecks for stuff
Yep, that.
and not noticing, like, especially I was, you know who Eric Thomas is?
Yeah.
I was reading, listening to one of his books, and he was saying how he met with some other motivational speakers that he looked up to, and they were like, "How much are you charging for your?" And he was like, "Oh, like 3,000, 5,000." He was like, "You shouldn't be taking any less than 20." But he heard him and thought he said you should be charging 20. So he started charging 20 grand, when in fact he should have been charging, you know what I mean, 50 grand, 60 grand. So there's a lot that can happen when you're not business savvy enough to know what your worth is and be able to value yourself enough.
But it also goes on to two different levels, right? So it has to be, you have to know your worth, but then you have to understand your niche in your market, because there are a lot of people out here who are charging 50,000. And I'm not saying that you should charge 50,000 just because they're charging 50,000, but you also have to know your competitors. That's why where there is a large store brand, there is also the store brand who tastes just the same, but they're charging cheaper because they know in crunch time, people are going to come and shop with us or spend money with us, and we're going to have a higher turnaround rate of people purchasing than making these one large purchases per year. That's like hairstylists, right? I am just like sick with the prices that hairstylists are charging, even barbers. Like barbers are charging like what, $50, $60 for haircuts? And I mean, girls are getting charged $300, $400 for hair. And listen, don't get me wrong, I understand the economy is going under, so you're paying a lot of money for your product, but I'm in the process of opening my own salon because I understand that beauty and looks is something that people are always going to want, but you want to make it feasible to where people can continue to book with you. You want recurring customers, and that's what people fail to realize. People will rather make their profit margin so large that their price is so high, but how often can someone afford your product? Now, I understand being able to market your product to a wide brand of people who have that luxury income, but if it's a luxury income, then people are looking at more than just the name and the price. They're looking at the quality. They're looking at the stitch, the seam, and all those kinds of things that come with it. Like we talked about on Friday with Diamond. People have these bomber jackets or these varsity jackets, and you're charging $200, $150, and then Banana Republic is charging half of that, but their stitching and their seam is way better. It's lasting longer. You can wash it more than one time and it still looks up to par. So people have to really understand, and like you said, if you're going in it for, you know, your purpose, your goal, then yeah, it's going to last longer than you going in and chasing the dollar, because if you're just looking at the profit margin, then you don't care about the product. You don't care about the brand. You just care, people, I'm making money off this.
And that's what sucks. I mean, it's like I can never take away from what somebody's buying. So if you get in business and your business is booming and you're charging people $500 for whatever the case may be, I'm not going to fault you by it. any means.
Oh no, I'm not gonna
That's
fault
just
you.
not the way I
just want to see where you're
run.
gonna be in 5 years.
Exactly. I would rather be that company that. So my mission is always to make enough money for my family to be financially stable. I don't want to be the flossy, just to stun on people making all this extra money. You know what I mean? Like, as long as my family is happy, my family is financially stable, we can go take trips whenever we want or buy whatever we want when we want.
Yep.
Then that's fine with me. So once I get to that point where I have more money than I really need, now at that point, my prices will never raise.
And I think again that depends on the people. And I was going to say on the persons, but I guess you can use persons too, because
use whatever you want.
That's not our and like we've said before, that's not our ideal goal. But if it gets to that point, that's just what comes with life.
Right.
That's not what I'm aiming out to be.
That's like, there's companies like, for instance, like Champion or Crocs or whatever. Mm-hmm. We say it all the time. Back in the day, that was the cheap stuff. Yeah. Right? You go to the store, you get a Champion hoodie for $9.99, and you get made fun of. Now you go try to buy one of the joints, they $70. I don't think the quality has changed at all. Their manufacturing has not changed at all. You know what? But now because people want it. Yep. Right. So, and I understand people probably like, y'all sound stupid. What do you mean you're not going to make that money off people? No, I would rather more people be able to wear my quality brand. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if 1 million people wear your clothing at $99 or at $9.99 versus 500,000 people wearing it at $20, you know what I mean?
What people fail to realize is Shaquille O'Neal made gym shoes for kids in the inner city that could not afford your average Jordan, your Nike, or whatever. He makes so much money a year selling his shoes in Walmart, making it feasible for parents. And again, it just depends on your target market.
Your longevity.
Who do you want to advertise to? Do you want to help the people that really can't afford it? Do you really want to help them out or feel good? Or do you just want to take from, the wealthy and continue to just recycle it?
I mean, so I was watching an episode of A Million Little Things. You haven't seen that show yet?
What's it called?
A Million Little Things.
No.
It's a great show. So one of them's a chef, and they had a food truck with them, so they could catering events, but they weren't using it as a food truck. So one of their events goes bad, and they're sitting there, and somebody walks up like, "Oh my God, there's never a food truck in this area. What do you guys have?" or whatever. So they're like, "Oh, well, we have these croquettes," and she's like, "Oh, well, they're $4." And the other girl's like, $4 if you do and like ups the price like twice." And he was like, "Oh, awesome. Well, let me get 2 of those." And she was like, "Oh." And then by the end of it, she was charging $10 per croquette. And she was like, if there's a line, it's supply and demand. So the longer the line, the higher the price. And I was like, oh, I get it for the money grab.
I do.
And they were in a situation where they needed to make the money. So I guess I understand that. But it just sucks to me because that's how everything is. And eventually all the quality things can only be afforded by the richest people.
But then you have to think about the customer service that goes into that. As a customer, if I paid more for this same product than this other person, I'm like, I'm not spending my money on that. You charge me this for it, and the other person got
they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's a small world. People talk for a minute.
Yeah, but they were in
I get it.
They were in an affluent area too. So they're like, I'll give you 20 for it. If you save me 3 of them, I'll pay you 20 per.
So I looked up Shaquille. So his shoe brand is worth $400 million. But it's saying from Walmart itself, over the last 14 years, he's made $70,000 off of Walmart purchases for his shoe brand.
Out of how long?
14 years, he's made $70,000 from just Walmart, not even including how much his shoes may have sold elsewhere, right?
He made a purchase at Walmart for $70,000.
It says 14 years from his record
$70,000 Walmart purchase. So
that's how much that.
No, he told a story. I watched this interview.
Oh, okay.
He told the story of when he got traded to, I forget what team it was. They got him an apartment, but there was nothing in the apartment. So he went to Walmart and furnished his entire apartment in one night. And he ended up paying $70,000. I was gonna say, I guarantee you, he's made way more than that.
Oh well, it says $400 million. That's the worth of the shoe brand.
What other places does he even sell his shoes?
I think just Walmart.
I was gonna say, is it exclusive to Walmart?
I think it is.
And that's another thing. That's another draw.
I mean, $400 million, and then Jordan's is 2.1 billion. Yes, that's a huge jump, but you have to look at the consistency.
But how much? Okay, how much is enough? You know what I mean?
It goes in.
If you scoff at $400 million, you a fool.
Yeah. And I mean, he has a lot of.
Let's break it down. Let's break it all the way down. We were talking about the average median household income, right, and what middle class is and all that, right? So it was under 50 grand, right, is lower middle class.
Yes, okay, under 50,000 is like low.
And then upper class was like 250,000 a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So to be considered rich in upper class, you got to make $250,000 a year, right? At $400 million, if you spent $1 million a year, which is 4 times the amount of an upper class income, right?
Yeah.
It would take you 400 years to spend all that money.
Yeah.
So tell me, at what point of income does it become like, you know the saying, after greedy. 5 kids, any other kid don't really matter, right? You know, people say that. Okay, after $100 million in my bank account, what's another 100 million? You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference at that point.
Yeah. Because if you know how to make money, having 100 million in your account will always continue to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's going to continue to flip and be left behind. But the problem is, again, subscribe to my Instagram because I'm going to tell you these things.
Look, she's taking all our content off air.
I am because as much as we like to talk about this stuff on air, I do still understand that there is a realm of our listeners that don't understand this. But to the business savvy people who are trying to learn more and teach more, I would rather you come look for the content that you want.
Yeah, but I would still say this general knowledge that we share on our show is fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying like more in detail.
And that's what the thing is too. I want you guys to realize what we're telling you and the stuff that we talk about on this show. There are people out there that will make you pay $19.99 a month.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For just this, what we're telling you right now. Now to get into specifics and to get into how to do the spreadsheets and what documents you need to find. Okay, she gonna tell you that for 99 cents.
Yes.
And I'm gonna listen over her shoulder. I think you think I ain't paying enough. But this is the kind of stuff that when I was coming up, I was paying for. And a lot of this stuff is what these business schools are. This is the most they're teaching.
I mean, it's literally
sad.
They actually don't even really teach you those things.
That's what I'm saying.
In those schools.
They'll give you the broad spectrum, like we're giving you right now. They'll give you this broad spectrum and make you write papers about it and do all of these assignments and all of this just to get to this.
First of all, do you know, and I am appalled at how many programs it is out here of people who they've funded into like a cryptocurrency type of thing, or they've funded into like one of these like money trade things or whatever these classes are. They're charging people like $1,500 a month or pay $3,000 for my class on how to become a financially stable type thing. And I've been seeing so many people get audited, and I've been seeing them go to jail. Yeah. Because they are scamming people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're saying that they're teaching you this course, and all they do is give you a downloadable PDF.
Well, not even only that. Like I haven't paid for any of those because luckily for me. And there's been a few times where I've been desperate enough, and it sounded good enough, and there was enough testimonials where I was like, maybe this thing could be something. And then when I really look into the meat and potatoes and find the real reviews,
it's something you can literally
They're
Google.
like, it basically told me a bunch of stuff that I already knew.
I have even done that with workout things.
Yeah.
I've gone to like some pages and they're like, oh yeah, download my glutes and boots workout plan. So to grow your glutes and gain the butts and lose the gut, all these workout plans, and you pay $15.99, $29.99 and it's literally a downloadable PDF that you literally could have used to. And I'm not knocking nobody's hustle because you have to get your money by all means necessary. But some of this stuff is like, we gotta be smarter to do our research before we just throw out a dollar plan. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I first started losing my weight, I was doing Monique's workout plan on YouTube, and I will forever give her props for this.
Still big?
She is, but she's under 200 pounds. She's never been under 200 pounds in her life. And her trainer is DeWitt. I don't know his last name, but they did like this whole series of dance your pounds off.
Yeah.
So it's like a Zumba, but it's like with, better music in Zumba. And she would be in her basement, and I would just watch her. And at first it started out being like 30 minutes. Then like as you get into more episodes, it went on to 45 minutes, an hour and a half of you just building up your workout ability. But I started doing her videos in my home of just, okay, me and the kids, we'd be just dancing and stepping, and it's about just keeping moving. I lost majority of my weight watching her videos on YouTube free of charge. Now, had I have signed up for another program? Yes, but there's a lot of free knowledge and free stuff out here. But people are just so factuated, like, oh, if I pay the most money, that means it's the most quality. Wrong answer.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I get stuck in that too. I really do get stuck in that. Because you think the higher the price, the higher the quality, and that's how the world should operate. But unfortunately, that's rarely how.
That's the Jedi mind trick of some of these things. They feel like, oh, if I charge top price, people are going to think that mine is better. Yeah. So therefore, I'm going to make more money off of it. I literally follow this girl on TikTok who is being sued by one of these scammer girls because she paid for her course and she did not get what she wanted out of the course. Like she didn't learn. It was one of those credit repair companies. So the credit repair, the credit repair companies, and she didn't get what she wanted for it. And she talked about it on her social media.
I did get got by one.
I wonder if it was the same one.
It was man, I wish I could remember the name because I would blast them out loud.
And that's what she started. She started telling people, like, listen, these things, I paid her to take these off my credit report, and they're still on there. So it wasn't just a person. It was like a whole, company. Like a whole big ass company. It started with a P. I know that. Okay, I think hers was like Cupcake.
No, it was like, and it was like it's called itself like a firm with oil.
Yeah.
Anyway, it got down to it. And they told me what they were doing. We sent out all these letters. And it basically was like the same letters you could find on the internet and fill out and send out. That's all they were doing for you. But they were telling you that within 30 to 45 days,
they should fall off.
All these things will be guaranteed off your. And then once you get into it and you've already paid your $150 or whatever it was, they're like, oh no, well that's not how it works. I'm like, well, why did the whole. When I signed up for this, the whole spiel was that guaranteed, and the reason I did it was because we were trying to buy a home.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are doing. They're trying to buy a home.
Anything I can do to get this done quickly, I'm going to do it. I'll pay the money, and then
they've been getting a lot of people with that. Or you think that it's off of your credit report and it pops up 6 months later, or all those kinds of things. Yeah. And I'm sorry to tell you guys, the only way to get those things off of your credit report is to pay them off. It's not any type of letter or anything that will remove them. Now, you can dispute them, but a lot of them you can dispute on your own going onto the website. I mean, and again, it's if you don't want to take the time out, you pay someone else to take the time out. But make sure you guys are paying the right people is all I want to say. I'm not knocking anyone's hustle. I'm trying to stop everyone from getting scammed.
Yeah.
That's all. There are some amazing firms out here who can really show you how to negotiate with the debt collectors to consolidate all of your loans and pay them off and make a payment price. There are people out here who really specialize in it. Do your research before you just pay anyone to make sure that they specialize in it. Because I've even heard some tips of, all you have to do is pay $1 per month on all these companies. Because as long as you're paying on something, it's not in collections.
That works for, in some states, that works for child support too.
Yeah.
As long as you pay something within a 4-month span and their system doesn't generate that you owe.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything.
It's something.
So there are a lot of loopholes.
But you have to talk to the right people because some of these people
who have you in your best interest in mind. Because honestly, there's so much, and I don't even want to say scam necessarily, because if you voluntarily are giving people money, that's your fault.
Yeah, but
You know, a
but
scam
a lot
is-
of people are not voluntarily. They're being scammed on the websites of the verbiage that the companies are using as a show.
But the reason why they don't get prosecuted is because it's not illegal for you to word things differently or shadily. You got to do your research as a consumer. If you're just so openly willing, the problem is people want things to happen quick.
Right now.
Everybody
I want this on my
wants
credit
something.
right now.
I want to make my credit perfect right now, and I need to make $100 million right
I need to
now.
lose this in 2 weeks.
Who gonna do it
Give
for
me
me?
your juice.
Who gonna do it for me? The craziest thing to me, the way that people are getting scammed is that whole, I think it's, I don't know if it's only on Instagram or what, but the whole, what's your Cash App? Send me $500 and I'll send you back $3,000 in an hour. Like,
Man, listen.
Who in their right mind thinks that is going to happen?
Or how about the ones when they tell you, oh, you've been qualified for a loan. You just have to pay the taxes on the loan of $300 in order for you to get this $30,000. Sir, if you don't go to the fiery pits of where you belong, because ain't no way I'm sending you $300 and I think I'm about to get $3,000 or $300,000 back. Sir, you going to, okay, so when my son was like very, very young, they went through this phase of like playing like cops and robbers as boys. Yeah. So he couldn't really say like going to jail. So he said like, you going to jail. Literally, that's what you're doing.
Why
so you're
you
going
get
to
that
jail.
Drop and send that drop.
I really should have. Now my other son is saying it, so I might get him to record it. Because he told me the other day, he said, Mommy, I got you. You're going to jail. Because literally,
can you tell we're heated about this topic? I hate people taking it.
Because it came out of nowhere, but I do dislike when people take advantage of people. And again, I understand businesses need to operate. I understand that people need to make money. But honestly, if you look at, so I've been going through like my social media and like just kind of combing through it because the pandemic really changed the algorithms and the social media. If we all honestly go down our social media pages, there's so many pages that have not been active since 2017, 2018, and they're following us. And that's why I'm trying to go down my timeline and find out who's active and who's not. Because that's why people are not seeing your posts or people are not engaging because those pages are inactive. They're inactive. They're just open blank user page. But also, if you look at how many clothing lines was started before COVID or after COVID, those clothing line pages have not posted in over 2 years. So as much as companies are starting, no, but I'm just saying, like,
well, that's not 2 years ago.
But as much as people are starting businesses, they are not continuing. So that's why I'm saying, like, I really want to start giving out information on how to make your business sustainable. No matter what people can say, Hot 93.97, 93.97 Network, Princess on Air, Good Time Show has been established since 2008. Never dropped. Our websites have always been clickable. You can always go find information, tune in. Like, when I look at how many podcast shows have dropped off, YouTube shows, radio shows have fallen off. Listen, what do you say on that trip? I've been doing this for a long time. Like, my first deal came through a fax. That's a fact. Like, I used to have 2-way pagers. Texting Jay the Great, like, hey, we about to go on air with the beeper. Like, it's been a long time. A 2-way. I had the Aaliyah. The Aaliyah Rock the Boat was my pager ringtone. And it was like when I got a message. And I had the James Bond phone, the one that flipped up like that, and I used to like record all of my drops. Like, yeah, it's been a long time, but I just want to shed this light because, like I said, people are so infatuated with, you know, being in the forefront and looking rich, and I feel like we have to stop that. We have to stop looking the part and internally, you know, crumbling, because that's the issue. And that goes into like the mental health topic that you guys talked about. We all want to look strong, and mentally we're not strong. And that's even for myself, you know. I balance a lot and I juggle a lot, but I don't take the time out for proper self-care.
I mean, none of us really.
And none of us do. Well, I mean, some of us do.
Not enough.
But not enough. And I have to even work on that. And I'm speaking to my listeners, my moms, or whoever, people, women, busy women, sisters, head of households, whoever. Taking that time to do something for yourself and not feeling guilty about it.
Right.
Because that's my biggest issue. I'm not saying that I can't do self-care, because I have a lot of supporters who will help me if I wanted to, but I feel guilty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those 2 hours, you're like, man, I could be home. I could be doing this. Like, oh, I shouldn't have to do this.
For me, the worst part is at the moment is because we have young babies.
Yep.
So it's like,
you never want to put them off on anyone else.
And it's funny too, because when I would vent about when the switch happened and my wife went to work, she didn't go to work through necessity. She went to work because she wanted to work.
Yeah.
So when I took over with the babies in the mornings, of course it was a rough transition. Of course it was hard. Of course it was different. So I would speak my mind on that. And that led everybody to think it was a problem or I was complaining about it or something, which never was I ever doing that.
It just takes some adjusting.
It does. And then my frustration would be how she gets home and immediately I have to leave to come to work. So it just gets hectic at times. Not saying at all I wouldn't want it to be this. I'm the one that made this happen. I got her the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it just that switch in times and that switch and change up is difficult sometimes to handle.
It's very hard. And people don't understand that it puts a lot on the relationship. So I'm like, we're literally like in the same boat, because I'm gone from sun up to sundown. My husband is working from sun up to sundown. So the only time we're home alone is at nighttime. But if the kids aren't in the bed or they're up or they're fussy, when do we have alone time? Or when do you have time to carve out for yourself to do a self-care? So when people are like, oh yeah, carve out 2 hours a day for self-care. At what point of time? Okay, I could wake up earlier, but no, I want my sleep. I'm not waking up 2 hours earlier just to have some type of self-care. I'd rather put that self-care on my back burner and give me 2 hours of sleep. Like, I'm sorry, like, that is my self-care. How about that?
It's hard. And like, people hate that I say this too. And I say it all the time, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Like my wife always says, we do so much. I don't feel like I'm doing that much. I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum of what I'm responsible for. So if I barely have the time to accomplish all of those things correctly, like I feel like I'm slacking on almost every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just me being such a hard, so hard on myself. But what else and what am I supposed to be doing that's self-care other than successfully taking care of my family and my career?
Now, but everybody's definition of self-care is different.
Yes.
So
to me, that's self-care.
I feel like our self-care kind of gets meshed because we enjoy our work.
Yeah.
So my self-care would be doing some TikToks or editing some shows or all the time. Like, I like that. Your self-care may be making t-shirts, but people will look at it like, oh, but you're working. But I like what I do. So I'm like, working, but I enjoy it. That don't bother me. Them kids. It's what bothers. Okay. So I should have put my edges down, y'all. I told you I'd be looking how I be looking because I don't care about live or video. And I'm sorry to the people who watch us on live, but
if y'all watching me on live right now, I am sending out this live. Also, if you are on live, I'm just pressing random buttons here, so everybody's getting this, and I hope y'all see it.
And also make sure you guys chat with us on the app, on the UChat bar. Okay, make sure you guys download the 9397 Network app and go say, hey, what's up? Because for the month of November, we're gonna be doing a contest. So for the month of November, like every show, it's the battle of the shows. This fool about to leave me. He's about to leave me.
Make sure when you say something, you say it was you saying it for me. That's nobody else.
We're gonna do the battle of the shows. So for all November, we are gonna be seeing what show can get the most interactions on the app.
If you don't have the app, go to your app store. Star in the building. Go to the app store. And we have to come up with like a term that each show has to use. Like if it'd be like or like good or like. Well, it's hard to say. He must have been listening instead of cleaning up my follow. You got to.
Yeah, like you really have to. And I feel like that's why the algorithms are off.
It is. And I've noticed too, what I've noticed is a lot of, especially if you're running a business, you have to go through your Instagram. Once you start to, like my lives, I was only seeing like 2 or 3 people live at one point.
Yeah.
And then I started to engage with other people's lives and follow people that go live often. And now at any point in time, I'll have, anywhere from 8 to 15 different accounts that are live. So for you to crack open Shark Marketing, what's going on?
Hi, Sharky Shark.
For you to be able to open up and get into those circles on these platforms that you want to be into and consider for, and you want your content to show up on their pages, you have to also be active.
Yeah.
So if you're looking up hashtag fashion, right? Then you yourself need to go on
the fashion pages.
Go on those pages that you find under those hashtags and engage. So shoot a couple likes out, shoot a couple comments out, and be consistent with that.
And I think that's how the algorithms are getting like circulating.
Yeah.
It goes off of what you comment on, and I'm really good at commenting people's stuff on like Facebook, but Instagram, I'm always just like a liker. But lately, I've been focusing on like commenting, like, "Oh, okay, good job," or "Hey, Mama Sita."
I'm an Insta. For some reason, I'm stuck.
You be crawling up under them posts, putting them
I'm
emojis.
stuck on Instagram, and I think the reason why primarily is because in my mind, Facebook is for friends and family. On my Facebook, I have like 1,500, 1,600 friends on there, and I know every single one of them. You know what I mean? At some point in time, I think I've met them personally. So Instagram is more, to me, Instagram is more global, and it's more global and personal. TikTok is just what you see on the screen. I don't think TikTok is really the comments and the
No, it is. I be all in the comments on TikTok.
See, and that's, I'm that way on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think too, because you can go live and you can interact and you can actually meet and talk to people on Instagram.
That's true.
Whereas TikTok, I feel like it's so much more fake than, so it's basically levels to me. It's, if you're my Facebook friend, then I could possibly see you in person and we could possibly kick it. If we're Instagram friends or followers and we interact on here, then there's probably some level of business that we might get into one day. And we can be acquaintances, close acquaintances. Yeah. If you're on TikTok, you're going to see me and probably never speak to me, not even in
You're going to see me, but never see me.
Yeah.
And I think for Facebook, the only reason why I comment more, and I guess it's a little laziness, but Facebook, a lot of the times, auto-generates like some of your comments. And I know that's real creepy and real lazy to say.
Facebook does?
Yes, like if I'm scrolling and it's someone's birthday, like in the comments, it'll automatically be like, happy birthday. So I'll just click that, boom, comment. Or if it's like congratulations, I'll put, oh, well, congratulations, keep going. Now, if Instagram did that, I would definitely be commenting a lot more.
Look, if you get a message from me on Instagram, it's going to be thoughtful, heartfelt.
Now, I do put heartfelt ones on people I actually know.
I actually, at one point in time, wanted to start an entire new Instagram called King of the Comments. I'll be having some zingers, man. My comments be hilarious.
Why don't you just put it down there?
I do.
Oh.
I do. I'm just saying. Because of the fact that
you don't want it to come back.
I want it to be known as like I could start a whole new page called King of the Comments.
A whole new disciple.
Juice in the building.
Hi, Juice. I don't like Juice Mo because she only always go to your live.
That's because I go on her. Okay, exactly what I be saying.
I'm not your friend, I'm no Juice.
I go on all her pictures and videos and I say, get them, Juice Mo. And I'll be supporting
I wonder if I'm even
in there.
See, I always like her stuff when Shay posts it, but I wonder.
You third party friend.
I know.
I'll be a third party friend.
I gotta see if she pops up on my timeline.
See, she said you ain't popping, Juice.
No, it's not. Oh, now she gonna come say hi to me. Okay.
You are a traitor. Monkey in the middle ass.
But no, certain people do not pop up on my timeline. She said, hey girl, hey.
It's unfortunate too. And I noticed
stuff don't pop up on my timeline. Like I have to go to like
Johnny Two-Time stuff. Never. That's my cousin. That's my best friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's like, you see what I posted? I'm like, no, I didn't even know you.
I have to go to their page to actually see it.
And that's the problem too when I go to send these out. I go to send these out and it's like I'm scrolling through and it's the same like 100, 200 people.
To suggest.
Yeah, and then I'm like, well, I don't even know who else to, like, I gotta search through my following list to find new people to send it to.
Yeah, Juice. I need some nail action too. I got natural.
That's a good idea too. As far as I
nails.
turn on notifications for everybody who is messing with heavy, which I started to do. I need to go through and do that too. You know what
I got
might?
good fingers
You know what
on
might
it.
actually help the algorithm, and I'm gonna try this out for. Try it out for a month. I'm gonna put notifications on everybody. I
No,
follow,
negative.
just because I want to see what happens. I want to see
No.
what the algorithm.
I literally get notifications all the time. I did that for like you, 2K, and Jay, just so I can see what they post in every story, every post. I'd be like,
You can put specifically what you want to see though.
no.
Yeah, you can. If
Oh.
you go under the stipulations on your notifications, it'll tell you what you want notifications for.
Oh, like if it's live
If it's
or
live, if it's-
post
yeah.
or.
So I do have, like Scar said, a few people that I absolutely like every time you go live, I want to know kind of thing. But I'm gonna do that. I don't even care about the notifications because my thought process is if the algorithm is sending you notifications constantly and you're engaging with all, even if you click on it for a second, then click out of it, then you're automatically entered into the algorithm every single time.
In the
any of those
algo world.
people do, yeah.
That's
You
true.
on the top of the algorithm.
Should we try to dual live like we did on Facebook last time?
Yeah, I'll be down with that, but we just have to turn down our, what was it happened last time? We turned the mic down, or
I think so.
remember somebody was like, you echoing, and I was like, shut up.
I think I might have to join your live in order to invite. Like we gotta watch it. So I'm gonna.
So we got to turn
discard-
one of them down and use one of our.
Yeah, let's see how this
We
goes.
gonna work this out. Yeah, because it would be nice for y'all to be able to see both of us, and it pretty much would be like we're running 3 separate
Send a
shows at once.
request. Send a request.
There we go.
Oh wait, hold on. Don't put me on there yet. I gotta put on a filter. A filter fish.
Okay, so I gotta turn that down. I don't know if it'll let me turn it all the way down. Wait, you gotta mute your mic.
Okay, I turned mine down.
There you go.
But do you guys, the
Are you
listeners,
guys- is it-
hear an echo?
Is it echoing over there?
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you joined mine and now all of a sudden it's popping? Vivid MC, what's up, Alien Gang? Look it up.
Look up Marlon.
Hey,
Sage.
baby, is it echoing or are we good?
Yeah, that was too much. We should be able to
She said, oh, yeah, that's correct.
we should be able to see.
Did you mute yours? Okay, she said we're good. All right, cool. Yeah, this is way better.
We should be able to change the functionality of
You
the
can't
screen.
You should
That's
turn it
ugly.
sideways.
Yeah, or like put it side by side or something.
You don't change
But-
layouts. I guess we need to have a meeting with Instagram.
Yeah.
So listen, we need the functionality.
We need to change the layout.
I'm gonna need a border.
Uh,
I need to.
you know what? I could also. Oh, the other phones out there. I was gonna say I could also join
on
the
another
93,
one and then
97
have-
network.
and then have it as like a wide pan view.
Yeah.
Oh, we about to get this Instagram live game popping, y'all.
We are. We're
Is that
gonna
what
figure
we
this out.
Because if we had another one like up here and it showed the wide view. See, we do production meetings while we're on air too, folks. This is not just pre.
We
and
do
post
production
show
while
shit.
production.
We're just trying to give y'all the best content ever. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean to the people that's riding in their car, you guys can also always hear everywhere we are and keep up with us. But
Additionally, oh my gosh, Seth Such is in the building. If you guys have heard me talking at all over the last couple weeks, Seth Such is actually my favorite artist at the moment in any genre. I just came across his music randomly, and he's
how
now.
do you see that he's in there? You got a notification? Why can't I see the
Seth
notification?
Such in the building. If you guys have not followed him and looked at his music yet, Isolation EP,
Oh, I saw the
just
heart.
dropped.
Okay, I saw the heart. Did you heart that or he did that?
he did.
Oh, okay. I see your hearts. Hi, Seth.
Yeah, we're gonna play some of your music hopefully today.
Like you
If
can't
not
even see
today.
the top of my head. Like what is going on
Oh.
with this?
I just got off site. I'm like fanboying. Seth Such, watch my show.
Seth is in the building.
I
Okay,
feel
there
like
you
a
go.
true
Y'all can see my
celebrity
face
now.
a little bit better.
Man,
I don't know.
business is booming. Speaking of business is booming now.
I'm booming. I'm busting.
Hey.
I'm bopping out the. Okay. You remember that song?
No.
You don't. Now I gotta look up who made it. I'm booming. I'm busting.
Oh yeah, we definitely. He said,
Oh,
let
you
us
said I'm
know.
funky.
He said, let us know when we want them on. I will DM you today, sir, and we will figure that out because I definitely need to have you on ASAP. And just so you know, I always have to correct people when they say this. Everybody, it is technically, I guess, podcast format, but not only do we do this visually on here and on YouTube and Facebook and all that, we actually broadcast on our own airwaves.
Yeah.
So we are an actual radio network that broadcasts globally.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why I want to put your music on here so everybody globally, our almost 2 million subscribers, can hear us some such.
Yeah.
Because they need to.
Yeah. Them facts. Are we still echoing? Like, please.
No, they said we're good. You're just hearing the reverberation.
Okay, I just want to burn it. If I had my AirPods, baby, I could have opened my AirPods and.
Listen, we're not supposed to be perfect on the first go round. Okay? There is room for growth.
Oh, and I'm gonna do the little baby challenge, but that's beside the
Chef
point.
Johnny, what's up? I'm ready music. Holla.
You never heard that OJ the Juice Man song?
Which one?
It's called I'm Booming. I'm booming. I'm bunking. I'm serving all the babies. Buy the break, bust the break, and serve it to the junkies. Wow, he said it. Listen, I'm telling y'all, a lot of songs I listened to back in my heyday, I listened to the clean version. So some of the words I never knew existed until I got older, and I'm like,
there's still a very large number of songs from back in the day that those songs that you didn't really know what they said anyway. Yeah. And then you find out the real version of what they're saying, and it's almost traumatizing. Yeah. Like the little Chris song, "Move, Get Out the Way." Yeah. I didn't realize that was that vulgar. When Mystical came out, I was like, ooh. Oh yeah.
That's why you
these days, not only because I'm a lyricist myself and I really pay attention. I love words. I'm a student of words. I love like that. If you want to ask me what my passion is, just words simply. It's my passion. The way they're used.
You're word boy.
I'm word boy all day
You ever
long.
seen the TV show Word Girl?
No. I feel like you made a lot of this stuff. I swear. I'm about to show you Word Girl. Large of an age gap, you be coming up.
I'm about to show you Word Girl.
But it's so now when I listen to especially new artists, I pay attention. I pay a lot of attention to what they say, how they put it together, what the messages are. How is that a thing?
Word Girl.
Have any of y'all heard of this?
Word Girl. That was the intro to her show. Like. And if you guys are watching on StreamYard, I'm going to share. I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see Word Girl. Oh, this was Word Girl. Like, she had a little pet monkey, and they used to
When was this on?
It was on PBS Kids.
That's why. And wasn't nobody watching PBS?
Unless you came on PBS.
Okay, here we go. Here's the only people that watch PBS. You didn't have cable, but you had the rabbit ears on your TV, and all you got was channel 2, 4, sometimes 5, 7, and 13.
First of all, I had cable.
You watched PBS, kids.
I had cable, and I still was watching PBS.
You chose to watch PBS?
Because my kids like Sesame Street.
Gotta stay humble.
But Sesame Street came on PBS. Author came on PBS.
Didn't Reading Rainbow? Wasn't Reading Rainbow?
Yes, on PBS. Yes. As well as Clifford the Big Red Dog, PBS. As and Caillou, PBS.
I didn't say that.
So they had some hit shows, so that's why I watched PBS because my kids. I had the whole PBS subscription. I had the PBS app for my kids because they like to play the Elmo game where like they gotta feed the Cookie Monster the cookies on the PBS Games app. Yeah.
Okay. Show of hands for anybody on Insta here that watches or watched PBS. Can we get it? Am I wrong? It wasn't not the broke channel. Was it not? I mean.
It's the educational channel.
I'll say in the era of cable, it is the broke channel because it always has been the free. And then it was like scrambly all the time, and it wasn't always like good reception. And then they'll play like a local orchestra concert.
It really would like in between.
Like, what the hell is this?
Or it showed like the city council hall meetings that scrolled on the channel. It was a mixture.
I was watching that. Miss Sanders, what they do to you, Miss Sanders? Tell us everything.
It was the choir concerts that would come on the PBS channel. They had a variety of things. If anybody else is still tuned in to the live, please let us know if it's echoey. Because I know Juice Mo, she said one of y'all has to mute, but I don't know if that was after or before.
Mute your life. No, what you said.
So
Man, you got me all heated about this business stuff.
Because it's a real life trendy trap. Okay, y'all, I really have not done any homework on Kanye West.
Did you see what I sent you?
Yeah, I sent. Yeah,
that's what I sent you.
Yeah, you sent me this, but
I don't even
know what he said. But look who's going on the opposite side. Kim is standing with the Jewish community. Girl, of course, you do anything
because it's gotten so bad to this. I sent you that one too. It's gotten so bad to this point. So once, for those of you who don't know, Kanye went on.
I haven't
Twitter.
Read the clips.
He went on Twitter. Well, this is what started. He went on Twitter and said something about going DEFCON 5 on Jewish people when he woke up in the morning. Now, I remember, what was her name from Halloween? What's up, Blue Factory? Nice to see you, brother.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Not a pretty woman. What's her name?
That's not who played in Halloween.
Anyway, she came
the
out.
The sister who keep trying to get killed in Halloween.
Her. And she was on some red carpet for that movie and had a reaction to it or whatever. So that's why I initially saw it. So it went from there. And now it's all the way to the point of a very well-known anti-Semitic, basically neo-Nazi group was doing a demonstration on a bridge, and one of their signs says Kanye was right about the Jews. So once you get adopted as...
See, what was the comment? I don't even know the comments he made.
He went further after that comment.
And I saw he did an interview or something.
He was saying a whole bunch of... And then I guess the crux of what he was saying was, how can I be anti-Semitic when we're the real Jews and we started as the Jews and this and that. He just went on one of his typical... And it's not just... I can understand if it was just one show he was on or like one interview that was being taken out of context. He's continuously doing Pierce Morgan, Drink Champs. Like he's on this media tour right now. And it seems like every single time he opens his mouth these days, he's not making it any better for himself. He's taking a deeper. So at this point,
to a certain extent, so I watched Trevor Noah, and he gave an explanation, and someone had asked him, why are you beefing with Ye? And he was like, well, a beef has to go two ways. It has to be two people upset. And his thing was, if someone tells you they have a mental health issue and when they're not on their meds, they act irrational or these type of things. As a society, if someone tells you that and then they start showing these signs, and I'm not saying that he does have mental health or he doesn't, but what I am saying is, if someone is displaying erratic behavior, why do we keep bringing them on these forefront shows, asking them these questions?
Well, like
to a certain extent, they're extorting him.
Facts. Oh, absolutely.
Because why would you bring? Why would you bring a sick person on to stir up this?
I was more disappointed by Noriega doing that.
Exactly. You want to stir up something in the world.
I don't necessarily think he's having a mental break or any of that. Like, these are his thoughts, even though they don't align with everybody else's visions and thoughts. Those are his feelings. But Blue Factor did say, I think you have to be specific on exactly who he was referring to. And if I remember correctly, through one of the things I've seen, he was referring to the business owners and stuff, or people he was doing business with that were trying to screw him over and stuff like that. Right. So I think that's where it originated from, and if I'm wrong, please somebody let me know. The difference between those that run our banking systems and followers. Yeah. So he was talking about the people that own the banks and the people that do loans. And so either way, it's still, that's the thing. Like, everything gets taken out of context. Now, I know some things are still non-starters, right? Yeah. Especially when you're talking about the N-word or any anti-Semitic stuff. Or those things are non-starters no matter what the context is most of the time, depending on how it's done, what the context of the conversation is. And I think his intention and who he was talking about, had it been said or approached in a different fashion, may not have even started this big firestorm. But knowing Kanye and really not caring what people think about it.
But is it? I feel like it's a mixture, and we talked about this a little bit on the other people's lives that you were on. when Trump went out and said, grab her by the this, and this. They didn't continue to bring him on interviews asking him about that.
Right.
They brought up other things to deflect what he said. For Kanye, why are we continuing to bring him on different shows, asking him to go into detail about a thought that he said that was provoking to a community? They want this to travel around to continue to create division, uproar, separation, which is always the key to divide. And I'm not making anything right of what he's saying. What I'm saying is, why do we keep putting it on the forefront on national TV news?
Here's what I would say though. I would have to watch every one of those interviews to see what their line of questioning is, because if we could get him on the show, I would love to talk about this to let him set the record straight.
And that's
in the hopes that he would set the record straight and not.
Because are they cutting and pasting and making these? And that's what I want to see. Like I said, I have not watched any of the interviews to see what he said, what the full context of them.
I don't think there's a.
Exactly.
And if there was a cut and paste or an edit job, it would be on him and be like, yeah, okay, that was taken out of context. But he's not saying that at all.
But do we care? I don't know.
The bottom line is, does he care? Look, I don't think he cares enough. He is so rich at this point.
But I feel like every time he tries to correct it, that's when they possibly cut the interview. Because he's done like 3 interviews. Like, why do you keep interviewing him?
The problem is,
like,
where is this man's team to help him rewrite this narrative and straighten up this court? Like I said, dude's got so much money that can't nobody stop. He went on Piers Morgan and called him boy on national television multiple times.
Then I saw that he was doing an interview and he was like doing like la 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 la. Like
that's Piers Morgan.
Oh,
He was like, do you have more money than me? And he was like, no. And he was like, then why would I listen to anything you have to say? And that's what I'm saying. He's so rich to this point that he don't care what people say about him or think about him at all.
And this is the part that I feel that a lot of people fail to like realize in these situations. For several years, and I'm speaking from a Black woman's perspective. This is my opinion and this is my thought process. This is not stated factual, whatever. But for years, they've always been able to make profit off of Black people's pain and struggles. Because if he said that on one interview, why would 4 to 5 other CNN broadcasting shows book him for interviews to keep antagonizing him, to act like this, so that it drives their ratings up for their shows, to make them continue to get views on a topic where we see that someone is spiraling.
At the end of the day, that's all they care about.
Exactly.
So
look at R. Kelly. When he got arrested, we saw him on the news then. He was on every interview. But before that, you weren't seeing people interviewing R. Kelly. You weren't seeing people book him for a show. But the moment those allegations came out, now he's sitting down with Gayle. So that's the part that I want us to kind of focus on. Like, when our people are hurting, that's not the time to put a spotlight in front of it. Like Trevor Noah said, he said, my grandpa had bipolar disorder and we all knew to check in on him. Did grandpa take his medicine? Did grandpa do this? And he's like, I'm coming from a caring perspective with Kanye. And I feel like that's the part that our community has lacked on. We're so quick to try to make a buck or to try to get some money off someone's pain.
Because at the end of the day, we don't have it.
Exactly. And like Trevor Noah said, he said, if my grandpa's having an episode because he didn't take his medicine, I'm not going to go live like, hey, y'all, my grandpa didn't take his meds today. Right, look what he's doing. Look at this outburst. Look, grandpa, what'd you say? What year you think it is? And that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad part. That's the part that I dislike. I'm not saying what he's doing is right. I'm not righting any of his wrongs. Right. What I'm saying is when we see people down and out and we stand on the sidelines and just watch it play down, then if something happens to him, everyone will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you're gone, and everybody would care. But you watch this person die. It's like us watching these people get killed on the side of the road. People are pulling out their phones, recording it instead of helping. Like, you're watching it from the sideline, but you want empathy of someone getting killed.
Yeah, I mean, but then so let me just say the other side of the coin here. He is a grown man. He is a very rich grown man. So all of the things that we don't have, those of us that aren't billionaires, we don't have the resources to get certain kinds of help, right? That man has, everybody in the world knows who he is, and he has enough money to get any kind of help that he says he would need. from what I understand, he has gotten help and has meds and all that stuff. So at a certain point, it is that person's responsibility, and it is that person's team and the close people to them's responsibility to ensure that person is living the healthiest life possible. So I don't know if his team is just a bunch of yes men, or if he's ostracized everybody on his team, or if he went rogue and is operating by himself. I don't know what the case is, but I truly feel like there needs to be some stronger forces around him, or we just have to accept that maybe he's fine. He's just living his life, saying whatever he wants to say, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's making a heck of money, and he's living his best life as far as I know. He could be just fine and not need anybody's help.
That's true.
You know, Trump, there's a whole bunch of people on this planet that feel like Trump's not wrong for anything. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. He talks how he wants to talk. He walks how he wants to walk, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's very true.
And you know what I mean? They would say he's not crazy, but everybody's calling Kanye crazy. I think they're both that shit.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean,
I don't know. I rock by a different set of rules. I guess I care about a different set of things, and that makes me crazy, I guess.
And I tried to look this story up because I've been hearing about it.
Oh yeah, you don't hear about that anyway.
And this is what I'm saying.
I briefly heard about it.
So they disguise our news with people like a Kanye to cover up a lot of things that's going on in the background and make our people look like the crazy bad ones that's just out here. And you have an NFL player charged for a role in a $24 million COVID relief FAR scheme.
Not just any player. One of the Hall of Fame.
I believe though this is a different player.
That's not.
This is a separate player.
Is it the same case?
I don't know. Is it the same case?
I don't know. I heard about Brett Favre stealing $8 million
from Wells Fargo. I believe his was from Wells Fargo. Brett Favre. Let's see, his $8 million. No, welfare scam. Yeah. Sorry, it was welfare. I thought it was just Wells Fargo. But yeah, Brett Favre stealing $8 million. You don't hear this in the news. And I mean, this is like you said, NFL Hall of Famer, like a nonprofit community stealing $8 million. But they'll briefly talk about this, but put Kanye on 7 other platforms.
Shame. Why isn't Brett Favre going through?
Why is he not arrested?
Now, okay, here's another question. And I gotta just ask all these questions out loud because there's people that are defending and condemning Kanye. And I want to sit in the gray area and say, what if it's Kanye booking all of these and reaching out and wanting to go talk on all these platforms? There's a lot of stuff that he does say in the midst of, regardless of how he's saying it, regardless of how he's getting his point across, there's some actual nuggets of knowledge in there that are very good for people.
Yeah, and I mean,
if you listen to Kanye like you would listen to anybody else's advice. Take what you can use and throw the rest away. Because there are some, you have to understand, to get to the level where he's at, there is a level of genius, there is a level of consideration that he is owed when it comes to what he has to say. Not everything that comes out of his mouth is my cup of tea, but there are some things in there that he's talking about that aren't necessarily wrong. Okay,
but what I'm saying is, if Brett Favre booked the interview to go on CNN,
it would be the nicest.
But that's what I'm saying. They're going to take a different light possible. If it was any outburst, they're going to edit it and make it not like his outburst. So what I'm saying is, okay, even if he is booking, they wouldn't publish the rough cut of their interviews like they're doing him, is all I'm saying. Because you can't tell me that Trump has not done crazier or said crazier interviews crazier than what he said that they did not publish.
For sure.
There was a lady on the news who got caught saying the N-word on camera or whatever. They cut and edited that out. Someone from the office leaked it, and that's how it came out. And then they were like, I apologize, yada, yada, yada. But it never made the mainstream news. It only made the social media news because someone else leaked it. Did she get fired? See, but what I'm saying is, but they covered it up. They didn't get blown up.
She ended up selling.
Yeah, but to theirs. But also, again, we have to realize who owns it. And I think that's what made me so upset with Nori and them, because here is a platform where we are supposed to protect our own, and we put them out on display for a rabbit hole.
But now, okay, when it comes to that situation, although the integrity of media should be there, we have to realize that not everyone feels like they have the responsibility to protect X, Y, and Z, and blah, blah, blah.
And that is true.
Every entity is about getting their ratings, hitting their numbers, and being a successful show, right?
Yeah.
So as much as we would expect drink champs or whatever to have that responsibility to protect our own, we gotta understand it's drink champs. That's their whole niche, is to get on there and get drunk and say the wildest shit you could possibly think of. Right? Now, do I think their booking agents or whoever books the show or runs the show maybe could have now in retrospect been like, let's stay away from this because blah, blah, blah? Yeah, but at the same time, they're not gonna stop that bag
because they need that. They need those
clicks. You know
clicks.
how many clicks they got for that? They probably,
it's literally
their
clickbait.
viewership probably went up 200%, even just on the clips they put out.
Now, why isn't this Department of Justice, a former U.S. congressman and Philadelphia politician, they got sentenced to 30 months in prison for election fraud?
You know, it's funny when they get out. I guarantee you there's probably a stipulation of how long they can't run for, and then they'll probably be able to run again.
Exactly.
There's somebody running for office. So
it's things like this that's being put in the news or skimmed over for a Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
There's
they thinking
somebody here that's running for, like, I don't know, it's not governor, but running for a high office that got in a drunk driving accident, hit a motorcyclist, and the motorcyclist lost his leg. And that person's running for an office seat.
God.
If that was one of us, we would have caught a felony. We would have went to jail. We wouldn't have been able to get a job at CBS easily. But this person's about to go run for political seat.
The congressman is Michael Ozzie Myers.
Dude.
Let's look.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild, and that's all I want to say is, you know, as much as things are going on and things are trending and things are like, we have to start looking in the backgrounds and in like the forefront, because it's a distraction. It's all a distraction. It's a divide and conquer distraction. Oh, how can we, you know, continue to make people feel separated?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, and that's us being media, and
we control our narrative. Yeah. I don't know about all the other people.
I'm glad we talk about things that
but I would never bring someone who is mentally, I wouldn't even come on air if I'm mentally unstable. So why would I bring someone else on here mentally unstable? And, you know, it's like kicking a person when they're down.
I feel like there should be a pre-interview that happens for you to decide whether that person can come on or not. Just like if you call a morning show, right? They have phone screeners that will screen your call to make sure that it's appropriate for going on air. Yeah. At a certain level of celebrity, it's like that all goes out the window. Like, you wouldn't take a normal civilian with mental health issues and put them on and parade them around and parade them in questions, would you? No. But if it's a celebrity, it's like all of that goes out the window, and just because it's going to be entertaining and sensualized TV, it's different, and it shouldn't be.
That's why I dislike. Actually, I'm gonna say hate, because I like, it's very strong. I hate when people like do something for people in need and video record it.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing something for someone in need, like, I'm sorry, I don't have the time to pull out my camera to show that I just gave this man a pair of shoes. Mm-hmm. But again, our society is so tricked into just giving or having to show that you did this for somebody. Yeah. Like, your intent is wrong, and that's what we're all judged upon.
The only ones of those that I like, per se, are the ones where they do something sweet for someone unexpectedly. Like, there's ones where the dude's like, oh, little girl, we walk, like, hey, can you hold these flowers for me?
Yeah, now that.
And then they like dip and they get the reaction, because they're not showing somebody at their worst moment.
Exactly. You're just brightening up someone's day. Yeah.
Showing you what a reaction would happen if you just brighten someone's day. Not someone on their last leg down and out in the gutter and you're giving them a sandwich.
Yes.
But so what happened to you? Why do you need this sandwich?
Exactly. Like, and I agree with that. Man. Like, I've seen people who they've gone to the grocery store, and like, as people are at the self-checkout, they are scanning their item and like to see someone else's reaction, to see if someone's like, come take this off. And if a person's like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna pay for it, they go back and they cover the whole person's bill. So doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, or this dude goes up and like, hey, I forgot my wallet at home and I really need this, and then they give him $500.
Yeah, like those things, because it's cool.
But
There's
also
only
somebody
one
with a
profile. There's only one profile that I have seen that it kind of changed my perspective of reporting someone. There's this guy on YouTube, and I cannot think of the name of his channel, but he takes like ex-convicts or like people who are on drugs and stuff like that, and as he's filming them and like doing a vlog on them, he's actually helping facilitate them to like therapy and like detox. Dope. And he's showing a before and after of them.
Said if it was ever going to be something like that it should be that.
Like he's bringing them into a green screen and having them sit.
Helping them do from beginning to end. I want to see their journey. Like, don't just show me a snapshot of them at their worst
and then
you
leave
momentarily help them out.
Yeah.
Let me see. So there's someone on Instagram named Charlie, and I don't know his last name, but it's the Dream Team, Dream Factory, something like that. He goes around the country. They actually did a tour with a big, huge bus. They went around the country just making people's dreams come true. So they pull up on somebody, hey, what's your dream? And then they call that celebrity, or they get money together to GoFundMe's, and they've legitimately changed a bunch of people's lives. Like,
that's awesome.
All the way, not just, here, man, take this $100, let me film you, get some clips on my page. Like, you're putting a Band-Aid on a paper cut for a second.
Yeah. And it doesn't help anything. So I like the stories of like the journey is being covered more than like you just like, oh yeah, look, he's hungry. I bought him a box of pizza.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, then what he gonna do tomorrow? Like, you jerk. Like, I literally saw somebody who was like, yeah, man, I took my Air Force Ones off and gave them to this homeless man. Look, y'all, set my shoes down by him and walked up. Like, dog, you're very corny. I'm sorry. Your intent, just let it be you doing something nice. You don't have to video.
You said something about this before where like, oh, their whole nice deed just got wiped away by doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think after you said that, I was like, damn, you're right though, because the only reason they did that was for. And then, do you even know if they went back after they turned the camera off?
And got their stuff done? Like, you might. Like, that's why when this had came out, this was like years ago when Meek Mill made the homeless guy do like push-ups for the money, because the homeless guy was like asking for some money, and he was like, oh, can I have some money? And Meek Mill was like, okay, do some push-ups. Let me see how many push-ups you can do. And people dogged him. Was like, why did you make him do that? And I'm like,
better himself.
Thank you. Do something for it. Like, people just think, oh, you're supposed to hand me something like because you asked. No. I mean, think about it as a kid or an adult. If somebody just comes and says, like, hey, give me $20. Bro, what you mean give me $20? Like, what you gonna do for this $20? Like, I
swear, I think I've become so, like, I feel like it's like a gut feeling for me. So sometimes, and it doesn't matter what skin color or whatever, it don't matter nothing. Sometimes I'll pull over and be like, here, man, I guess it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Because most of the time, especially if I see, and this may be backwards, but if I see someone homeless with an animal, it makes me so angry that I refuse to help that person. Because
I did that too.
Because I feel like that person's going to help themselves before they help that animal, and I cannot be a part of it.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but
yeah, I mean, some people look at it as like a support because they don't have anybody else.
That animal can have such a better life, but you being selfish and making that animal suffer because you want somebody to suffer. You are misery, sir. Misery loves.
There is an individual who he's always at this exit on this freeway that I come up with, and I literally pass him all the time, and certain days when he's not there, I'm like, oh my gosh, where is he? Like, I've even given this guy my phone number. And at first I was upset. And then my mom was like, well, how's he going to call you? And I was like, oh yeah. Because
you just got to go handle no pay phones, anything. No
exactly. Because my thing was, I really want to help you. Like, okay, I'm giving you money every single day. Like, that's not helping you. I want to be able to help you like set up to where you're not out here every day. So call me, because I can't keep stopping at this light because people are honking at me and people are rude. Like, how you gonna honk at me and I'm trying to help my mans out? Like, go around. But now I have started making care packages for him, like at my house. So like the other day, like I went to Costco's and I had like got a 72 box of like granola bars, and like I just gave him the box of granola bars like when I was off the freeway, and like I have like a bunch of canned goods at home and stuff like that we don't eat, that I'm gonna like put in a box and like give him. I got some old blankets because it's the winter time's coming up. So like, but I'm doing these things because I'm being thoughtful.
Right.
I'm not about to pull up my phone, because imagine how would you feel? You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
my point. Like
somebody pulling up
worst.
to you with a camera in your face, like, here you go, man. Like, I don't want your pity.
Days,
like,
we've had days on the show where we didn't feel good or feel like we looked good and we didn't go live.
Yeah.
So imagine you're sleeping on the streets, like legit down the worst position in your entire life, and you're gonna throw this camera in my
because
face?
the pity is I'm already out here, so I'm already feeling bad as is, and then you put this camera in my face, and now I'm supposed to just smile and say thank you. Like, he knows us by first name basis. Like, he knows our cars at this point. Like, I mean, he's family on the road, you know. And I hate the fact that like I can't help him out more, or like I can't really see him or contact him to make sure he's okay. Because one day somebody else stole his spot. And I was like,
you was mad.
I was
like,
mad. I was like,
homie.
this is not your corner. Like, why are you on this corner? Get your stuff and go on about your day. And I was just like, how you just gonna take my homie's spot like that?
Yes.
Like, put your name on it. It's like,
I always be wondering that too when I see, like, you'll see one guy on this corner, you see a dude on the other corner. Like,
if they're working together.
Like, nah, whenever they got beef. Like,
probably like street boys, like, get off my corner, son. It's my block.
Son.
Listen, y'all, this new website that I have just come across, it's called justice.org. .gov, I'm sorry. And this is like the United States Department of Justice website that like gives you justice
Everybody's
news
criminal records.
like all over the place. And
it's called snitch.com.
No, but this is about like politicians,
Right.
like people who are in the seats who are getting arrested. Like this guy, Terrence John, TJ Cox. He was charged with 15 counts of wire fraud, 11 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of financial institution fraud, and 1 count of campaign contribution fraud. And he's a congressman, a member of Congress.
I'm telling you, like, we all know that everybody in our government has got a record of some sort, right? But that's all. You can't be in trouble with the justice system if you and your homies made the justice system.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's controlled by you and your boys, you ain't never gonna have to deal with those consequences. But let one of us, if I get a speeding ticket,
man,
that's staying on my record and everybody's gonna know about it. But if you're running for Congress or you're running for that, if you ever watched Tim Willie in the Building,
hi.
as Tim Willie always says,
I'm so upset. I cannot see any of this.
Thank you, Jesus. Watch the movie and get to the bag.
I really want to end this, like get off of it and get back on, because I can't see anybody.
Look, she jealous. She mad because I'm getting all the love. Fine.
Oh, Toy to the world tune it. Like, I can't even see people. Hi, Toy.
Yeah, you can get off mine and I'll be on.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna rejoin
okay.
and see like if it refreshes.
Tim Willie also has to get on the show, and Rich Starr's joined as well. One of my other favorite artists that I've recently come into contact with. My guy. Tim, you gotta come on the show, man. Where you at?
See, look, now I see him.
Where you at, partner?
Now I see him, but I got off. That's so weird. Now I see Tim Willie. Tim Willie, I just requested.
She gotta put her.
I gotta put my face on. Because literally, I didn't wear no makeup today.
I tell you, she the realest in the room until she get on this Instagram.
Because I didn't put no makeup on.
She the realest in the room.
I ain't got no makeup on.
If you want to see Princess without her makeup on, go to the YouTube stream. That's where she is her realest self. Because there ain't no filters on the YouTube.
Unfortunately. And I don't really, I mean, I do put on a little, oh, he said we're good now. See, now I can see the comments.
Hey,
I don't know what was
you
going
just
on
steal
before.
my comments?
Oh, no, you don't see nothing? See, it's so, I think it hijacks us to be able to see like who's joined in and who's not.
That's because the system won't let us both drive at one time.
Man, they
they're
won't.
trying to hold us down. You know what we gotta do is we gotta petition to get our comments on both of our phones. You know, you don't stand up for what's right in this world. And what happens is
you're gonna be left out.
You sit on your ass and nothing happens, and then you got a flat booty.
You're gonna be like
and then everybody makes fun of you.
Prince. Ow, ow, Remember when he wore them pants?
Yeah.
With his booty cheeks out?
Purple cheeks, purple cheeks.
Why were they purple?
Because he was sitting because the man wouldn't let him stand.
Was he sitting? I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry.
Ouch.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody put out a video of I was trying to see if you can watch a live on a computer. You can't?
Can't.
Maybe I have to log in order to see it. Because I was gonna try to pull it up to see the comments. Because somebody had posted a video of Prince playing basketball. Because they were talking about Dave Chappelle.
Like really playing basketball?
Yeah, because Dave Chappelle always said that Prince could hoop, and they actually posted a video of him hooping, and he
had some game.
He had the froze going and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But yeah, I just want us to be
about
more aware.
Oh,
I know.
So many good artists and good people.
Okay, so when are we starting our lip sync? Because over the weekend I did one of like the old school type things, and
you record it?
I didn't lip sync. I just went down a rabbit hole of all the old songs I used to jam to, and I was like, dog, I can't wait until we start doing our lip sync.
You know what? How about we do this?
Okay.
Not just us. Let's open it up to everybody.
Okay.
So if y'all got a video of yourself lip syncing your favorite song, or maybe it's song, Tim Willie, I'm gonna hit you up directly about this.
Yeah.
He do it all the time. He is insane.
How do you both?
Hey, I see him now too.
Oh, you see it? Okay, boom. Now we see him.
Open it up to everybody. Send us your funniest lip sync video.
And I mean, it could be the full song. Because certain songs like are the best at the end or the best in the middle. Like I'm talking
all out. Too, you know how you know how to get to your favorite part most of the time. You got to sing the entire
song. Because you gotta have the build up. The build up is like the best part. So
I gotta write me down.
Like Tanisha Kelly, I don't know if y'all remember Tanisha Kelly. She was the R&B artist, and I'm still friends with her on social media. I just messaged her the other day, like, girl, I just went down old school binge with your and I felt so weird. So we have to come up with a word to use, because when we talk to old school great, I don't want to say like, oh, I listened to some throwbacks of yours, because is that offensive?
I just say classics.
Okay, classics. Yeah. I listened to some classics of yours, and because I'm like,
especially the people that have timeless music,
offended?
Like to call it old school or to call it oldies, or
Yeah, I would be like, Trent, I ain't old. Like, I don't know.
Actually, no, I wouldn't be offended. That just means you got long hair.
But like, I listened to like some old school, like LaToya Luckett and like some Carrie Hilson, and I was like, wow.
Now that's how you know we get old.
Really
if you can say Carrie Hilson is old school.
I know.
I was listening to something on the radio today. Actually, it said something about 20 years ago. You've been in this music industry for 20 years, and they came out. Their big hit was in like 2002. I was a sophomore in high school, so I vividly remember all those songs and that album, and it was it was a weird like reality check moment, realizing that 20 years ago was 2002.
I know. It is
when
a huge
I thought I was grown as hell in 2002.
Right, and now look at me. Look at me now. I'm getting paper.
Hannah Bowen, like 1332.
So I was watching. What music video was I watching? I was watching another.
You was watching a music video?
Yeah, I told you I went down a whole binge hole, because y'all know when you like be cleaning and you start going to your old school, you like, oh my god, I had a little drink, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Cherish, do you remember the group Cherish? Okay, so I'm sorry, listen to some Cherish. But then there was a video, and I cannot remember exactly what song. Lance Gross. He's like a great actor. I would have to show you guys who Lance Gross is. Once y'all see him, like you're like, oh, that's Lance Gross. This is Lance Gross. No. He was just an actor in the video. Oh. But it was like when he was like younger, like just being a video boy. Until you guys remember, I said video boy.
You can say video.
Oh,
if it was a female, you would call her video.
I'm not gonna call him that. I'm not gonna call him that. Okay, this is Lance Gross. If y'all don't know, if y'all are watching on Ustream, y'all can see. Oh, yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, a lot of people got their start in videos back then. Even when you think of Erica Mena. who she was in Chris Brown's Yo, Excuse Me Miss
That was
video.
her?
That was her that he was chasing, and because I was going, like I said, I was going to all these videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Speaking of that, I was kind of thinking of this the other day, and this is a weird kind of segue into this thought process, but isn't it weird when you think of like career trajectories in Hollywood? If you look back at a lot of these actors and actresses, they started out on like these super bootleg commercials and then music videos.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Background in the shadiest little shows.
Because you gotta like build, and it takes a long time.
I can't remember who it was, but I saw somebody was doing a show or something, and it showed a clip from something like way back, and it was nowhere near the caliber of. And it was they were in something.
That's like Jessie Smollet's sister, Jasmine Smollett. Do y'all know who she is? Okay.
Is she a liar too?
No, she's not. I don't know how to spell her name. How do you spell?
Smollet.
Oh, here we go. Boom. So she was actually. We really do. So this is Jasmine Smollett. I don't know if you guys have seen her.
That's his sister?
This is his sister. You guys are watching on Ustream. I know. It's such a...
I've known who she is before I knew who he was.
Me too. Right. If you guys are watching on Ustream, this is his sister. If you guys are watching on live IG, this girl here.
I did not know that.
That's his sister. But she started off on Full House as the best friend. Michelle's best friend on Full House. That's where she got
Wasn't she just in something recently?
Yeah, she was in a lot of stuff. This was her.
Wow.
So she's been in it for a very, very long time. She has a new movie on Netflix that she's in it. You've probably seen the trailer of this new Netflix movie.
So she's been popular.
Exactly.
So did she put Big Bro on or something?
I mean,
you
she
gotta
could have
click off of it.
No, I want them to see it on there. Because I think is it called Spider-Man? Where like the dad is like chasing her, or like took her daughter or something like that, and she's going through like this movie. I don't know what the name of this is called. Life Savvy. I don't know what it's called. So I started watching it, but I didn't finish it.
Interesting.
But that's his sister. But she started off as a kid. So like you said, a lot of these people start off as like super duper young babies in the industry, and it takes them a while to hit that. And some of them never really hit that forefront. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how long she's been in the industry. But I mean, she's done some big movies, but
a lot of support and stuff.
Not on like a scale that you would be like, oh my gosh, Grammy nominated, because it doesn't make her less of an actress. I mean, she's a great actress in some of the roles that she's played.
And again, to go back to what we started the show with today, it's about running your business. Because even as an actress,
have a sustainable.
Right. No matter what your career field is, right? Whether you're a athlete making millions a year or an actress or whatever, at some point, unless of course you're like Sidney Poitier or Cissy Tyson, you're gonna get old and you're not gonna be doing those things anymore. So you need to have had.
Look how their career slowed down though.
Right, but if you haven't set aside some money to start businesses or to invest properly or whatever the case may be, you're gonna be broke just like the rest of us one day.
Yeah.
Look at all those people from, let's say, we'll even say 2000s. That was 22 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Look up everybody who was famous and on top of the game, on top of the charts, on top of the movies, on top of all of that. Look at all of them and see what percentage of them are still relevant, one, or still have a net worth right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one right now.
We looked at Matt Bynes the other day.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I'm just gonna look up one right now because this is my favorite person. Okay, Jesse McCartney. Okay, I love me some Jesse McCartney and all his music. I don't understand anyone. I don't love the ways. Okay, so his net worth is $9 million, right?
I mean, he's still doing it.
I mean, but that's how much he's worth. That's not saying how much he's making.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, see, when they do your net worth, also, okay, if you guys didn't know, in this, if you don't get this from me now, you have to pay Princess 99 cents to get this later. Your net worth encompasses all the things that you own or are into. That's not your liquidity.
Yeah.
That's not what's in your bank account. It's what's your worth. So if you were to sell all of your property, sell your stake in your business,
all of your assets,
sell your clothes, sell your merchandise, that's how much.
That is not good. Sorry, he did not age.
Puberty.
He did not age as
Puberty will do that
kindly as I thought he would have.
Puberty.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. Why does he look so? I didn't want to be the one to say it, but hold on. Let's see. Jesse McCartney.
A lot of them old school heartthrobby.
What's up, McGeorge 7? That cannot be him now. He looked like a Leonardo knockoff.
No, that picture the other one looks like, what's his name? Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
The dude that played Doctor Strange.
Who's Doctor Strange? What is that?
The dude, what's his first name? What's the dude's first name? Something Cumberbatch.
Oh, him.
Tell me that picture doesn't look exactly like him.
It really does. I've seen him before. Yeah.
What's his first name?
I don't know, Doctor.
That's it. Benedict is his first.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah.
What's Doctor Strange's first name?
I
Doctor?
can't do this. I can't work under these conditions. Everybody.
I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, I did that ignorantly. I couldn't scroll fast enough. But I didn't know whose first name we were talking about. I thought we were just talking about Doctor.
I always thought his name was fake. I don't know if that's what it is. Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's a nasty name.
Like porn star.
Sorry, it really does.
Nasty.
But there's so many other people who, let's see, Keenan and Kel.
They just did their little reunion. I think they're talking about doing a second Good Burger.
But look
it was at one of those award shows.
But look how long that is though. Like, I mean, he's still not like in the forefront. I mean, Keenan is worth like 13 million. I mean, that's still
Keenan's
good.
Still been on
Saturday Night Live. Yeah, that's true.
Kel hasn't done it. Yeah, anything long.
Net worth 3 million. I mean,
that's because he's probably still getting paid for Good Burger.
Yeah, and he was in 101. Remember, he played the renter's agent on 101 when they did the spinoff and they went off to college, and he was. Now I gotta show you Kel on 101.
There was a long time in my life.
He played. What character did he play?
I vaguely remember. Who was the female lead one?
Kyla Pratt.
Yes, I do remember. I don't remember Kelly.
On the spinoff, when she went off to college and she moved to LA.
Was it 201?
No, 101.
The dad from 101 is who I remember because he was everything.
Flex Washington.
Flex was everything in the 90s.
I'm trying to. Manny. He played Manny. That's what he played. Yeah. Manny, he lived upstairs, but like he would always like go in the house like, I need my rent. And he only had one. He had a Yimmy. He didn't, because that was like the knockoff version of Graham. He's like, give me my Yimmy. I did win this Yimmy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always thought he was hilarious, but the sad part about a lot of these actors, especially back then, when you had that strong of a gimmick, especially on the comedic side, you can't do anything to be that actively funny. You have to be aggressive.
Look what happened to Alfonso, which is AKA Carlton. Yeah. After that role, he said it was very hard for anybody to take him seriously after the Carlton role because he played that role so well.
It super sucks because you want somebody who's going to be that dedicated to that role and somebody who's going to be that great.
Detroit Bird.
One of the most artistic and amazing people. Oh, you can hear
he said there's a massive.
Detroit Bird is one of the most artistic people.
I muted my mic.
Everybody follow Detroit Bird. One of the most incredible.
What about now, Detroit Bird? Why ain't nobody else tell us that? Tim Willie? Ain't nobody else? Oh, he said, hi, pretty girl. Hi, Detroit Bird.
It's a lady.
Oh, hi, Detroit Bird, Lady Girl.
Lady girl.
Oh, much better. So it was because
it's-
both of ours.
It
were on
sucks
Mother's
because
Day
you
Month.
want someone who's gonna nail that role, and you want
Yeah.
the fact that that person so accurately depicted what that was supposed to be that you can't see. So it's a catch-22. Just
That's true.
Look at what's his face, Daniel Radcliffe.
Who's that?
Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
I'm never gonna see you as anything but Harry
He
Potter.
tried to play in a couple of other shows, and I still was like,
Wasn't
"Who are
it? Did he
you?"
try
I
to
was
play
like,
like a
"Harry."
scary
Go back.
movie?
He did. It was a.
Where's your wand, Harry?
Yeah. Go get your cape, Harry.
Those ghosts can't get you if you got your wand, Harry.
How to get you with the boo, Harry? Okay. But it is like when you think about even think about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, right? I had not
Yeah, I
seen
don't think
her
she
on
did.
anything else.
What about what's her face from Clueless too?
Oh, that's true. All
Did
of them
she
from
do anything
Clueless.
after that? Stacey Dash didn't do anything after that.
Well, we traded her.
So it's almost like you should make sure
She-
you're like on the top end of
Melissa
mediocre.
Joan Hart. That was her name. Yeah, I don't remember her being on anything. Now, I'm not gonna lie.
Serena, though.
She did have a show called Melissa and Joey, and I watched it. It was like her being like a single mom, and the only reason why I watched it is because I'm an old school hardy. You know what I'm saying? And I love an old school. That's why I watched Fuller House because
I
I
didn't watch it.
liked the
I
old
was mad
school
about
people.
Girl Meets World or whatever.
No, I did not
You
watch
ruined
that. I
classics.
was
You're
so
ruining
mad.
classics,
I
people.
could not watch that. Girl Meets World. No, do not do that. It is Boy Meets World with
That's
Corey
like,
and
so
Topanga.
anybody who's an artist or a painter, or would you try to redraw the Mona Lisa and put it out?
No, you would get shamed.
You wouldn't,
You
right?
get shamed. That's like the people from Home Depot. I mean, Home Depot. Home Improvement. The characters from Home Improvement. You've never really seen them on anything else except on what?
He's had a couple of shows.
What show?
Well, there was one that just actually ended.
But it's always been like, I mean, he played Santa Claus, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no.
And like stuff like that. But
But
besides
yeah.
him,
Yeah.
the mom, the wife,
Yeah.
the kids, the gate fence man, we never saw his face on there or nowhere else outside of that either. So his face just never got seen.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But again, it depends on these people's like overall careers because I feel like sometimes when people start so young, the reason why they fade out is because they want to go live a normal life because
That's what-
leading up to that, they didn't get a chance to live
Especially
a normal
when
life.
you're like the Olsen twins that did that, and
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas from
Yeah.
Home Improvement did that as
A
well.
lot of the kid actors and
I mean,
actresses.
How would you take all that at that age? You know, all that fan. In those days, it was real bad with like fanboy and these girls.
Yeah, and I mean, but they didn't get. And I mean, I know some things that like you can't get back. I'm sorry, y'all.
Right.
It probably ended my life. But some of those moments you can't get back. You know, like missing. You know, the high school experience, the homecoming.
Yeah.
Some of those moments are very important to
Yeah.
certain people. So it depends on what's important to you.
And that's what people
If-
ask me too, like with the twins. They're like, "Oh, you should get them into modeling, and you should da because they have such a beautiful, unique look."
Mhm.
And my thought is always, I wouldn't want to do that to them.
Yeah.
Because if they did catch fire and end up blowing up and all that, now I've completely taken away their sense of normalcy in their childhood and all
Yeah,
that.
and kind of letting them become who
Be
they are
extorted,
before
really.
getting into that. Because I feel like
Exactly.
a lot of kids who start off as, you know, teen actors, depending
get
on their
involved.
parents, depending on their parents and their support system. And even with having parents and support system, people are cruel nowadays. So you guys could be giving them all the love and the attention and reassuring them, but all it takes is 2 comments under a picture
Yeah.
for them to have that insecurity. Like, you know what I'm
So
saying? It's so
there is-
crazy.
I know there's, and obviously I don't know what was online scene, but there is a young actress who played in Lucifer on Netflix.
The daughter?
Skyly, whatever her name in real life is Scarlett. I forget what her name, Trixie in the show.
Chixie, yes.
Her parents run her social, but she has a page or whatever. I think if she never sees those socials, never sees those comments or anything like that, I feel like that's the way you do it. You know, you let her be an actress, you let her enjoy her success and all that, but you keep that away from her. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As much as you can. I mean, obviously, when she gets older, she's gonna start.
That's the agent's daughter, right?
Yeah.
Chixie, the little
Yeah.
girl who what's her name, fell in love with. Yeah. Matthew. I love the show.
I stopped
The last
watching it when his
season-
twin brother or whatever took over. And I couldn't get into that.
Yeah, that was
I'm cool.
a bit much. Okay, so I looked up actors in the 2000s. And these are just actors.
Right.
These are
So
not even.
So let's run through this list, right?
And these are
Let's
not
see.
even artists. So we haven't even gotten to artists and singers. This is just
Right.
actors, okay? I was going to share, but they can just hear. Okay, so Hilary Duff.
Not relevant.
Her and her sister, they tried to come up with some movies like the Duff Sisters, and they did she did Lizzie McGuire for a very long time. But outside of
When
that,
was the last time Lizzie McGuire happened?
I don't know. Paris Hilton. Outside of her just being Paris,
yeah.
you don't see her in
That don't
anything.
really count.
Thomas Hanks.
Thomas Hankmeyer.
Tom
He's
Hanks.
still real. Definitely still real.
Haley Joel Osment. I don't even know who you are. I don't feel like.
I see that people. 6 Sense.
Oh, that was him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't feel like these are a lot of people that came out in the 2000s, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, Jennifer Lopez, she was out before 2000, weren't she?
Right, but I think this list is encompassing people that were big in 2000.
Okay.
Whether they came out before that or not.
Natalie Portman, obviously Halle Berry,
Yes,
Miley
yes.
Cyrus.
Because of her music, yeah.
Pink, hit or miss. I know that she
Now,
is trending.
okay,
She's still
I
touring.
was gonna say, let's put it this way: she's still very relevant. Just the mainstream media is not talking about it.
Right.
But she's still selling out arenas,
Yeah.
stadiums.
And she had to rebrand, just like Kelly Clarkson. She had to rebrand that TV show when it came out with Kelly Clarkson. She'd
talk
been
show?
washed. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd been washed.
And is that why she's not on Voice now? So she can focus on her show a lot.
I'm assuming. I don't know. Gwen Stefani.
Because of the
I
Voice.
love Gwen.
And because she's married to Blake now. That's probably about it.
Yeah. Nelly Furtado. Yeah. Washed.
Which way are you going? You going?
I don't know. I'm
laterally,
just
or you
I'm just going
bouncing?
I'm just bouncing because some of these Sandra Bullock, obviously. See, I don't feel like I think we should do singers.
Let's do
or
musicians.
Because a lot of these actors, you do still see them in.
Because it's common for an actor or an actress to do a movie and then you don't see them in something else for 5 or 6 years, and then they're just living off of that. Same.
Let's see, 2000 musicians came out. Oh shoot, I put came out.
One of the most famous. Wait. One of the most famous singers of the
Boom, let's do that. And then I'll do that.
What are your
too.
guesses, people? Who's on this list?
Eminem.
Yep.
Eminem came out in 2000?
I want to say he came out in the 90s.
Oh, I guess they just qualified it as that. Chester
He's
Bennington.
no longer living.
Oh, he died. Where is that?
Linkin Park's lead singer.
Oh.
Suicide.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
Chris Martin.
Coldplay. Still relevant.
Okay. Britney Spears.
Only because of her Instagram.
We've seen that. Beyonce.
Irrelevant.
She said she doesn't. Pink. Nora Jones.
She went away quick.
What song did she have?
No, that's not even.
Come Away With Me. I don't know what that is.
You know. her.
Chad
You heard the song.
Kroger. Is he still out?
No. Nickelback's
Will
one
I
of the
Am?
most hated. bands.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You never heard it say, how I know you're.
No.
You should just on your spare time, just Google Nickelback and you'll see all the news.
Okay, Will I Am.
Like I think.
But I feel like he's more of a producer. He's not
Yeah.
an artist. None of them are relevant. I haven't heard a Black Eyed Peas song.
Fergie's only relevant because of Jack Harlow right now.
But she ain't relevant because we listening to Jack Harlow, not her.
She went and did a show with him or whatever, so she got back in the.
That's homage. That's not relevant.
Yeah,
Besides that booking,
relevance means your own music is out.
she did the Star
Good
Spangled
song.
Banger and
You leave Fergie alone.
child. Some things you need to know. You need to know when to hold, know when to fold. She should have
You
folded.
leave Fergalicious. Wow.
I love me some Fergie. I can play any Fergie song and I can sing it like a memory bank, like a mug.
You ain't gonna keep talking about my Fergie.
What she said on that song? Cause I've been acting like I will make all on the floor. She watches the shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cool.
Dang.
If I could escape.
know
Listen,
one of
I'm
those
like
words.
Fergalicious girl.
I've
But
never known any of those.
that-
words.
That song, she shouldn't have did that.
I never
Okay.
did that.
Really? And that's my karaoke song. Yeah. Alicia Keys. I mean, musically, she's really not relevant. I'm sorry. I haven't listened to Alicia Keys song in a
her
while.
relevance here right now?
Her like doing like makeup tutorials saying, "Oh, I'm going natural, no skin. I mean, no makeup."
Yeah, anyway.
But that I don't know.
But again, was the voice she was on? Or
Yeah.
She's on one of those.
Yeah. Michael Bublé.
Blue is always going to be relevant.
I don't even know who he
He
is.
does the Christmas song.
Bono,
U2. Always going to be relevant. Well,
Madonna. But see, I feel like these are classical
only-
people who they know how
right,
to
but,
stay
like,
relevant.
when's the last time they've had records?
See, and I think that's the part that it differs because a song relevancy and just being seen and here and there,
Yeah, like they're always
Like-
going to be relevant because they are.
who they are, and
Who
they've
they
made
are.
timeless music. Like
Right.
Madonna has made timeless music,
Right.
so she'll always be around YouTube. You know, timeless music. Alicia Keys, timeless
Right.
music. But as far as they have new songs out and like maybe touring or booking, I don't. Maybe. Nah.
No, I guess that relevancy scale really depends on what you see, what arc of a career you see as relevant.
Because I love Avril Lavigne, and
She
I
just
wish she
did a
would
concert.
put up more
Okay,
music.
so if you were ever into alternative music at all, I just found out about a festival called When We Were Young. It actually just happened this weekend.
Oh,
So you ever heard of Warped Tour?
yeah.
It's like the rebirth of Warped Tour.
Oh, okay.
All of those bands, Census Fail, Taking Back Sunday to Use, Avril Lavigne, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, all those kind of bands. Story
Okay.
of the year, like there's a huge
Those
just happened
type.
in Vegas, and I guess
Those
there's
things.
I don't know how long it's been. I think this year was the first year. It's the first time I ever heard of it.
Oh.
But I definitely want to go next year, and I
Yeah.
think maybe I can take 6 months or a year to build our alternative platform on the station, and maybe we can do something from there.
We should be able to. I mean, we play a lot of obviously for our show we don't even play any music.
You know, play on those.
Like here and there, but on the station there's always alternative. I mean, Imagine Dragons. I still play Avril Lavigne. I love music Avril Lavigne. But there's always more. But those type of concerts, and like you said, I guess it just depends on that person's comfortability of their growth of their career.
Right.
What's up, Melly Mel? Because you do have some people
We still
who
need to talk
they
about.
just want to make their career heightened enough to where they
Yeah.
can now live off of everything that they've done, and that's okay too.
That's Melly Mel's show is potentially going to be running on our network.
Yes, Melly Mel, we need to talk.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to add you to the rotation. Add you
ma'am.
to the rotation.
Yes, ma'am.
But that's kind of my goal, get
Yeah.
large enough to where you can now just kind of fall back and enjoy your life, but you're making money off those royalties, those
Right.
dividends, and all those kinds of things to
Facts.
where you work harder in your younger years and then you live smarter instead of
Hey,
partying hard as we're
That's the
young
goal.
and then like having to like still
that's
work
cool.
when we're like 60, like they trick us to do.
Well, it's
Oh,
funny.
party when
It's
you're young.
really funny you said that. Because on the way here, I was thinking about just kind of like I've been listening to a lot of self-help stuff. And they're telling you to think about your why, find your goals. Da, 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 da. And honestly, I think I'm at the point where I've actualized all my dreams and goals, and I'm literally living my dream life.
Yeah.
But I do have to figure out where I want to be in 5, 10 years and all that. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, and I'm like, 10 years from now, I want the network to be like a self-running machine. I want us to still be doing a show. It might not be the Good Time Show in this format, or 3 days a week. It might not be that much because we're gonna be old, bad.
I know.
But I still want us to have a show of some sort in 10 years. But for the most part, we just be chilling.
Yeah, I was
You know
gonna
what
say,
I'm
and that's always my biggest dilemma with myself is because I don't ever see myself not doing
'Cause that's
radio.
what I was thinking about. I was
But
like, in
then
10
it's still one of
years,
those things that's like,
Yeah.
would I still
definitely
do
want us
radio?
if we had I think ideally for us at that point, because there's so much we'll be doing still with the network, as it grows, there's gonna be more responsibilities in the back office and all that. So we'd be doing our day-to-day like that. But I think if we were able to just have like a weekly show
where we do our
Yeah.
whole, you know what I'm saying, every week on
Like,
Friday.
hey, catch up with us.
4 to 7 Fridays. Come kick it with us.
Yeah, we just take over people's screen randomly.
Beep, boop,
We brought you a
warning,
digital broadcast.
Warning.
Listen, y'all, I know we don't really play music, but I have been holding this in for like, I don't want to mess myself up. And there's a meeting that we were supposed to kind of view in between, because there's some people that want to be seen. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it to a quick song break, like 2-3 songs, y'all. And then we're coming right back to finish up for the day, because we still have the positive quote of the day and more to talk about and more to chit chat about. So don't touch your dial, radio folks. We'll be right back. You dig?
See y'all in a minute.
we tell y'all that we are always like in production meetings, like when we're in a production meeting, on a show production meeting, like it's crazy. But I completely, first of all, I'm your girl, the Princess of All.
And I'm Gud Monday.
And we are back on the Good Time Show.
Nice,
and literally on a potty break, we ran into some amazing people. And that's what, we were just talking about earlier and everything. And all
snakes.
of our shows. No, ain't no snakes on the plane. With us, tell you, get these. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be saying, get these snakes off the studio. Get these
And here's the best part about like when you have, and I don't know if I was saying it on air or when I was saying it or what I was saying, but I was talking about actualizing, right? And when you really set your intentions in life and you really just go out in life with the best vibes and positive light and you put yourself on the right path, you end up in the rooms with the greatest people, even just coincidentally or however it works out to all your paths mixing. I literally walked out of the studio just now and met three
amazing people.
I'm pretty sure we're going to do some great things with and take us to places that we didn't even know we were going to go.
Side note, you streamers, I'm a fart in y'all purses and your wallets. Why didn't nobody tell us that the background music was still playing?
Oh, the other background music?
Dude, I'm like, listen, did you not see me looking around like, what is that noise? I'm looking like, what? Like, that's not the beat of our background. I'm here like, doonch.
Hey, we might. Let us know. Do you guys want us to change our background to that stock background? Because obviously, no one had a problem with it.
No one had a problem. But I completely agree with what you were just saying. Meeting amazing people. But I also will say it's about putting yourself out there and not being afraid. When you put yourself out there, you never know what's going to fall in your lap at what time or what moment. And this year, I can honestly say, we have definitely been putting ourselves out there more, and by us putting ourselves out there more, the love and the reciprocation, because precipitation is rain.
Precipitation is the raining of
the love that we've been getting back. Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. I like that though.
What?
Precipitation. That means when you give it out, it rains back
in. Boom! I made something up. Look at that.
That's the one.
But what you put out into the world, you definitely get back. And this year we've been putting nothing but love and networking and all those kinds of things, and we've definitely been getting that back. So, we're probably going to end the show a little bit early.
Yeah,
I want to go back into this meeting.
Now. I want to talk about snakes.
I don't want to talk about snakes.
I do.
I'm gonna leave that to y'all to talk about snakes because. Y'all know I don't do reptiles, I don't do animals, I don't do humans, I don't do people.
You guys are talking to the woman who doesn't do grass.
You're right. I don't.
Or picnics or sandwiches.
I don't. So therefore,
that regular
snakes.
Humans like.
I'm now.
What about a snake in the grass at a picnic eating a sandwich?
What about a heart attack and I'm in the hospital on life alert? Because I didn't pass.
You get to the pearly gates. What happened? Well, see, that was
in my neighborhood where I live, so like during like certain seasons, I believe it's like fall-ish, frogs come out. And like I live like in like swampy because I live like literally in the middle of almost nowhere. So there's a lot of frogs. So when I'm like walking across the grass to like go to my car or something, I'm like so terrified that I'm gonna step on a frog. I'm like running and like screaming like therefore I just
little super green frogs with the red eyes that like Rainforest Cafe had. There was a video I saw yesterday of this lady. I don't know where she was at, but she opened the toilet and there was like 50 of them. It's just kicking it. But of course she had like
the anxiety that
the
just
music
reached
that
my
was playing
body.
was like this like playful, joyful.
And then she opens it and then
but she was cool with it. Like wherever
why would you ever be cool with that?
Wherever she is from, apparently that's a normal thing that happens, I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me because I would have burned the whole house down.
I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna write a letter. Dear Mr. Owner. To whoever, wait, remember back in the day, the parents would be like, to whom this may concern. That would have been my letter.
You don't even know my name to call me out.
That would have been my letter, 100%. So listen, y'all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna close out on our positive note. Is it? Because I wasn't here Friday.
No, just because you missed the show doesn't mean. No, you can take it.
I wasn't here on Friday, and you didn't even send me one on Friday.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Did you?
I did. With me and
I don't remember getting one. Did I post one? I probably
did.
Listen,
Okay, no, hold on. Y'all remember how we opened the show talking about me missing a whole Monday? She missed the whole everything that she physically did on Friday.
Did I really post one on Friday?
Yes.
I'm now going back to my timeline.
I took a picture of it. It was number 10. I don't remember what the quote was.
No. Okay, so you took a picture of it, but I never posted it.
Oh, well, I did my part. I sent it to you.
Did you?
I thought you posted.
Did you?
Let me
see. I'm pretty sure.
I think you did.
Let me see.
Don't have me over.
You didn't send me anything.
Yes, I did.
I'm looking at my text, and I don't see.
What was Friday's show? Friday's show was when I had Zulu and.
Yeah, you didn't send me anything. The only one I got was Monday.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
I'm like,
so
I'm
must
going
not have done one then. So then it is my turn.
It is your turn. See, y'all, we literally keep track of what we send each other for these reasons, so that we can go back.
There's so much that. Listen, we're trying really, really, really hard to make this the best network.
Nothing beats this picture in my phone at this moment right now.
We're trying really hard to make this the best network on the planet for you guys, man. I feel like a lot of these networks.
Ain't no trying.
We are manifesting that.
We are making this the best, funnest place.
I'm really
for
tired
you
of all these networks taking advantage of people and not giving them the products they deserve.
And being fake. And being like cookie cutter, like, oh my gosh, my life is so amazing. My kids are great. I'm getting paid good money. My car does not have the check engine light on, and I am thriving. And my credit score is 800.
Yeah.
Everything.
I don't trust you.
Thank you. Everything I just said was a lie. That's not the average day to day. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody gonna talk about that. Ain't nobody gonna talk about the fact that no matter how much money you got, your auto pay is not on. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody talking about that. Because I have my auto pay on. They got me.
That's a new flex right there.
No, it's not. That's never gonna be a flex.
Like, did your auto pay on?
I don't care how much money I got. I'm not putting it on. Because Comcast, I'm putting them out there, charged me twice in 1 month because I trusted them. I trusted
Pro
to believe.
Tools charged me for, I don't know if you know those systems about you do audio systems. Yeah. Pro Tools is one of the standard ones, right? I got that for free at school, and it was never a subscription-based thing. But apparently, the old version went away, so I couldn't use it, and I had to rebuy one. And a year ago, I did so. But I found out yesterday, according to Princess, today's Monday. I found out yesterday that there was a monthly subscription that was $316 that I wasn't aware was going to come out of my account. So this morning,
I done dialed them up so quick.
I was looking for the address. I was about to pull up. Like, if you don't give me my
catch me outside about that.
And
that's what I'm saying. Listen, do not turn auto pay on. And I know that for a lot of people it may work. You forget, but some of these companies are not the original companies because they try to overcharge you thinking that people are not paying attention to their billing cycles because when you have a large amount of money, you're not paying attention to what's coming out. You're like, oh, okay, I paid this bill. Oh, okay, that bill came out. Not realizing like, okay, wait, they charged me for the same bill twice this 1 month. That's what they did to me. They charged me twice in 1 month for a monthly bill. How are you charging me twice when my bill is due at the beginning of the month? Why are you charging me at the middle of the month?
Also, if you have your auto pay turned on and you want to make that payment early, be sure that company is not going to take that payment and then additionally run your auto pay.
Yep, they will.
That happens too. But that is for another day.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't care how much money I have. Auto pay is not.
Well, what I was saying
but nobody talks about
you can say that as a flex. I was like, I got my auto pay on. What's up? You broke? Bet you can't auto pay.
That's but people still have their auto pay on be broke. It can go in negative.
I know. I know very well.
Because that auto pay don't have not a problem taking it to a.
So that's another real quick before we get out of here. That's another way they get you. So these banks will allow your account to go negative however many dollars. And a lot of them will charge you overdraft fees per how much you're overdrafted. Yeah, so it's a ripoff.
Because how you gonna let that go through? And then you gonna charge me a fee for not having
I'm already broke.
Bro, I didn't have it to begin with. Why you
give them that money? I ain't even have it, but that's your fault.
That's on you, bro.
You paid them that extra
money.
You're
supposed to be security.
I was secure for $20. You the one gave them $300.
But don't you hate when they only allow certain things to go through. Like if
Yeah.
you wanted to use
If
these
I went to the
funds
store
or
to try to buy
something,
$300 worth of something, it ain't gonna
decline. But you let them
Right.
go on and take
And then you gonna charge me.
$4,000 on my account, but I
That
couldn't
was your
use the extra 20.
Actually, no. I can't even get no gas. You remember back when they used to let you get, so you used to pump it and they would check $1 and then
Yep.
you could run it up.
Now they
run it how
charge
much?
what 100. They hold like 150 on there, like depending
Mhm.
on where you are. They pre-charge, and then
Yeah.
they hold it, and then they'll
I
be
had
like,
to tell my
give a
sons.
release.
So there's credit cards that have my son's names on, so they can build credit.
mm-hmm.
I had to take the cards from them because wherever the gas stations they were going to, were like all of them were doing that. So they would be like $500-$600, and I'm like, "What are you all buying, station dog? Like, this is ridiculous. I know that car doesn't take that much gas. What are you doing?" And then like 2 days later, it would normalize
It would go
and regulate.
And I don't understand why.
That's out of control.
That is very out of control.
Anyway, let's see. Usually, I think up to this point, we haven't missed on one of our quotes.
They've all aligned.
It had something to do with today, so we will see. This quote is from Aristotle. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the
I would say that
light. That
aligns.
makes Kanye, that whole conversation about mental health and Kanye
And
focusing.
having to structure your businesses and having a plan.
And, man.
Woo,
Our quotes being, and listen,
it strikes again.
Just so you guys are aware again, and we don't want to trick you or nothing. We don't look at these beforehand. We didn't pick these. Y'all know we don't have topics when we come on these days.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's just
we just here, okay, baby.
We just be in the building sometimes.
All right, what number was that?
Number 9. 9.
Nueve. Oh, now you Espanol.
Sí.
Oh, okay.
ABC.
Oh, okay.
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 Okay, I'm reloaded.
All right, y'all. So listen, make sure you guys see. Look, you about to have me thinking it's Tuesday. I'm about to say we outside coming up later on.
Listen, you had the whole 4 hours to get rid of that one. That ain't my fault.
Now I'm thinking it's Tuesday.
I seriously, I don't know why I thought it was Tuesday so hard.
I don't either.
I think I'm apprehensive about this episode. I'm like nervous to shoot this next episode or something. I don't know.
Well, and I was still gonna ask you, like, okay, so like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
It's to be determined.
It's been a while. Okay.
We may need the day off tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh, you cannot edit this to fine. Oh, because I logged in.
Auto pay didn't go through.
I logged in with the wrong username.
That auto pay didn't go through, baby.
I'm not auto pay. It's when I log in, I don't be knowing which Google account or which Facebook account.
You got 75 of them.
I do.
Why don't you keep them open on your tabs like you do everything else? Just in the matter of this show, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, are you closing them or scrolling over?
I'm closing them.
There was at least 15 tabs open.
There was. Okay, there's not anymore.
Go back through. Okay, people that were on StreamYard, go back through to when she screen shared and count the tabs.
Oh yeah, because they could
count the tabs at the top.
Don't do that.
They call her Tab Mommy.
They really do. I mean, my tabs do be
put it on my tab.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you how many tabs I got open right now
on your phone. Oh,
well, I don't even think my phone.
Will it calculate that many?
No, it started putting a smiley face. Look at this.
That is out of control. I've only seen that one other time.
The way I just laughed. OMG.
I have flashbacks. I didn't want to look. I didn't know what was coming up. Oh, my stomach.
Oh my goodness. That one took me out.
Oh, yeah.
That one took me out for real, yeah. I don't even think I can regroup.
Yeah, no.
Wait, why did you stop using that phone altogether?
I did. It's sitting on the little key rack, and I'm scared to touch it.
Because they used to bring it in as a second option.
That's probably where our Wi-Fi is.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. But any hooter, we're going to post our quote of the day And make sure you guys continue to ride out with us for every show. You can start your mornings off with Sapphire Soup du Jour, then with some Honest Truth. No, Sapphire Soup du Jour, Jay the Great, Honest Truth, Good Time Show, We Outside, and then on the weekends, Ty's Takes Today and Jamin, the legendary House of Shade.
Don't forget about Fridays. You got DJ Sane.
Yes, Sadie coming in on,
it's getting
Fridays.
wild. We got
wild.
reality shows, about some Melly Mel's, about the parts. And tomorrow on the actual Tuesday, you know how I was telling y'all Shay is gonna be in here. She's gonna get her show popping.
Yeah.
Shay will be recording her first episode tomorrow.
Booty butter. I might call her booty butter.
Bro, that sounds weird.
Listen,
I'm down.
I'm gonna tell y'all something right now before we get up out of here.
About booty butter?
No, yeah, about Shay.
Oh.
Because if y'all follow her on social media, she posts the most I feel like she gets me every time. She's like, "Oh my gosh, look at this faucet!" And in the middle of the faucet, it's like a girl's booty cheeks like ripping the faucet. And I'm like, Shay. She's like, "What? The faucet was very entertaining."
That's why I be saying. I find the craziest stuff to send her now.
I'll be like, "Oh my goodness!"
See the dude with the flashlight for her eyeball. Right?
Yeah, I did. I did see that, and I was like, "Okay, all right." I should have tried it.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. So we're out of here. Until tomorrow for Tell 'em Tuesday. It's been fun.
It's been true.
It's been
so freaking real.
I am your girl, the princess of all.
And I'm Cujo Speaks.
Until tomorrow, ladies, stay pretty.
King, stay king.
Deuces.
Bye, Alicia. That was vintage Good Time show right there.